year has been, it's a bit of a mixed bag, but in the end it's turned out okay. Like, we had a pretty windy spring and we've had a pretty hot summer, as everyone knows. Then we had a lot of rain, though, in March, and that helped size things up. So on average, it's been a pretty good year for growing.
Is it right to talk about it as some sort of single beast, the citrus industry, or there are pockets of it that are doing better than others?
Variety by variety. Some varieties are doing better than others, but on average, the citrus industry is doing pretty well in South Australia or in Australia, because the world wants our stuff. Domestic customers want our stuff, so that's a good place to be.
I remember probably about 20 years ago, mate, wasn't there that big drama about the importation of orange juice concentrate from Brazil?
Yeah, that still goes on today. We have our own fresh juice industry, but we don't concentrate too much in Australia.
Yeah, right. But trade-wise, does it feel like the market, like the industry is stable? Because I can also remember around the time people ripping out orange trees and all of that, but it feels pretty good now, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like, I think we went from growing juice fruit and the competition with Brazil and Florida to growing eating fruit. That was our change. All the trees that got ripped out were older juice fruit trees. Now we export as much as we possibly can if it's good quality, and we don't focus on juice anymore.
Where does it typically go, Mark?
Most of Asia, it goes. China and Japan are our biggest export customers, and then some to America, and then some to India. And there was some going to the Middle East, but let's see how that goes.
Yeah, a few dramas there at the moment, that's for sure. Good on you, Mark.
Well, Mark, great to hear the industry is doing well, mate. It's nice to talk to someone who's at the head of a group that is benefiting from the weather at the moment. Mark Doakey, the chair of Citrus SA.
Citrus. I love the smell. I love that oil that comes out of the leaves. I love the way you peel mandarins, and you know for the next 5 hours that you've peeled mandarins. It's amazing, those oils that come out of citrus.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to Blakeview. Julie, you got a number 28 for us.
Yeah, good morning, boys. On the periodic table, nickel is number 28.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Nickel.
Well, I love science and all that sort of drama. So
yeah,
anything to do with the science and medical and all that sort of gear. Yeah, so I just thought that's a difficult one.
Nickel. It certainly is, Julie. Good one. Thank you for that.
Keep them coming in, getting some terrific number 28s through. A lot of people pointed out February has a lot of 28 days, but it's sort of not unique to Australia, that one, is it?
No, that's true.
As far as we can tell.
Phil in Hanley Beach says, I reckon I must be the only person in Adelaide that's killed a lemon tree. How'd you kill it, Phil? It's pretty hard to kill.
He doesn't seem happy about it, Phil.
Everyone needs a lemon tree. You got a lemon tree, Will?
No, don't have a lemon tree.
What do you do for lemons?
I just buy them from the shop, from people who are good at buying lemons.
That's a common strategy, I guess, isn't it? Common antidote to not having a lemon tree.
Ben Jordan says Bradman's first test was in 1928. Says he didn't bat on the Friday. He batted on the Saturday and Wednesday. Only made 19 and 1, and Australia lost by 675 runs.
An inauspicious debut. I tell you what, if only he made 4 more runs.
Yeah, if he made a 23 or a 5 there.
Yeah.
Quiz questions would be a lot easier.
Here's Tommy.
Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast studio. Step up to huge price drop of the new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. We're getting close to the World Cup, aren't we? We're not far off. We probably need to do a bit of a preview.
Friday week.
Yeah.
4:30 a.m. Mexico, South Africa.
Well, I reckon we need to do a bit of a preview on the Aussie group at least, don't we? Next week and maybe the favourites, Golden Boot scorer.
Turkey, USA, Paraguay.
Yep. Difficult group.
Tom, if Australia beat the USA in the USA, that will have to rank in the top 10 sporting moments in Australian history, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be right up there. I don't think the USA think Australia's much of a chance. It would be huge. If they win that game, they'll probably go through just on the back of that.
The Yanks, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're really insufferable.
I think they've dismissed Australia.
Well, one of their leading football commentators has been sort of skylarking about it. We should dig out the audio and play it as part of our build-up, saying just put it down as 3 points. These guys are hopeless.
Well, the Aussies probably only need 3 points to go through because remember there's 48 teams, so 32 go through to the next stage. So you get the top 2 from the 12 groups, but then you also get the next 8 go through as the third-ranked side. So as long as the Aussies don't get smashed in any games, they should go through.
Well, when you look at some of the other teams competing, some of the other nations, like Haiti is competing. Curaçao. Like some of these countries are only known for being hit by cyclones and having outbreaks of the plague.
The problem is we're in a tough group. There are no easy games there, but there's enough there, and we're going to be very defensive-minded. I don't think they'll probably score more than 3 goals in their group stages. They'll be lucky to score 3, the Aussies, I reckon. It's just a matter of just pinching enough points. Last night, though, footy training, not good. Isaac Cumming, this soft tissue concern continues to happen for the Crows, unfortunately. Isaac Cumming, so remember he got injured last game, bit of awareness. It looked like he'd found his spot finally, didn't he? You know, played down there a bit with GWS, playing down back.
He was terrific playing halfback.
He was really good. And so...
Soft tissue injuries has been a him issue, though, hasn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Unfortunately, seems like he's got one of those bodies, doesn't he?
Issue.
Yeah,
it is. You're right. It's a good point. So he won't play. I think they will get back Taylor Walker, but Isaac Rankin, I don't think will play. So they're in this kind of awkward stage, the Crows at the moment, aren't they? I think they need to be a bit like the Bulldogs, who have done a really good job, I think, in the last few weeks of just getting through and just managing to find ways to grind out wins. Adelaide needs to do that. And this next 4 weeks is going to define their season. Geelong, Bulldogs, Melbourne, Port. If they can win 3 of them, season's set up. 2 and 2, they're sort of treading water. Anything less than that, and they're in real trouble. So, huge month coming up.
Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks,
Great,
boys.
Tom.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers, windy, 17 today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Had a collision? Get in touch with Premier Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
Australia's population has hit 28 million this morning, taking births, deaths, migration and departures into account. The country gaining 1 new person every 75 seconds. There's a new baby every 136 seconds and a death every 213. Social researcher Mark McCrindle says migration is the main driver for the boom.
We've got the lowest birth rate that we've seen, and so we're leaning more and more. Almost 3/4 of our population increases migration. 2/5 of the population are in 2 cities, Sydney and Melbourne.
The Fair Work Commission will this morning decide on an increase to the pay packets of our lowest paid workers. Unions calling for a 6% rise, while business groups requesting a 3.5% increase. The federal government also hoping for a boost to the minimum wage, but hasn't outlined a specific figure. The state opposition urging the government to raise the payroll tax threshold in Thursday's state budget to help small business. The Business Chamber of SA putting out the quarterly results of its latest survey, showing confidence has fallen to its lowest levels since the height of the COVID pandemic. Shadow Treasurer Ben Hood says with business profitability and confidence down, the government needs to act on Thursday to keep them afloat.
This has been a sustained pressure on small businesses over a number of years, and we've seen this record payroll tax take by the government. They've seen it in their budget papers. They know that it's there, and I think it's time that they deliver this relief to businesses. I really hope the Treasurer has been listening.
Wild weather is lashing the southern half of Australia. At Melbourne Airport, wind gusts hit 83 k's an hour overnight. SES volunteers responding to almost 200 calls for help in the last 24 hours. In WA, thousands still without power. And here in Adelaide, we appear to have escaped the bad weather largely unscathed. Inspectors from SA's Consumer Watchdog will be out in force this week, ensuring service stations are complying with the state's real-time petrol price monitoring scheme. Servos must update any price or availability change within 30 minutes to a central database to ensure real-time price monitoring apps have up-to-date information. Service stations found in breach could face fines of $550 or penalties up to $10,000 if the matter goes before court. Australians are being urged to shop around for their surgeon as new data reveals skyrocketing fees. Private Health Australia research found some patients paying up to 5 times what they should for common procedures. Chief Executive Dr. Rachel David says many don't realise they don't have to see the surgeon their GP refers.
You can see another doctor who's in that treatment area. And so it can be worth ringing around a few practices in the area to work out what they charge and to make sure that you haven't been sent to one of the highest charging people, because that in itself could save you thousands of dollars.
More than half the country's universities have fallen in the latest global rankings. The Centre for World University Rankings claims years of inadequate funding has contributed to the drop. The Uni of New South Wales and Uni of Melbourne rank 52 and 64th respectively. Locally, Adelaide Uni is at 215. Flinders at 550. And there's a push in New South Wales to reduce the length of daylight saving. Almost 15 years ago, the eastern states and South Australia agreed to follow Tasmania's lead with 6 months of daylight saving running from the first Sunday in October until the first Sunday in April. National State MP in New South Wales, Jeff Provost, says reducing its length by 2 months would be a common sense move.
At the end of it, in April there, you're getting up in the dark and you're coming home in the dark. So there's no saviour of any leisure time.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Matty. Adelaide is set to be without Isaac Cumming for Thursday night's blockbuster clash against Geelong after he appeared to aggravate his hamstring at training last night. The Crows should regain veteran Taylor Walker, but are also set to be without Isaac Rankin after he hurt his calf against Hawthorn. Meantime, Justin Longmuir has Fremantle embracing the title of premiership favourites. The Dockers are on a club record 11-game winning streak ahead of facing North Melbourne in Bunbury on Saturday. The coach telling Fox Footy favouritism is something the Dockers have struggled to come to terms with in their 31-year history.
Probably something I don't think we've dealt with overly well previously. There's been times when we've won 3 in a row and the flag mantle comes out and then we lose one we should win. So I think this group's maturing. We're able to get our feedback from the right places.
Plenty of French Open action on again, and number 4 men's seed Felix Auger-Aliassime is through to the quarterfinals. That's after a straight sets win against Alejandro Tobio. Italian Matteo Berrettini is also through after a straight sets win against Argentina's Juan Manuel Cerundolo, while American Francis Tiafoe has just taken a 2-1 lead. That's against another Italian, Matteo Arnaldi. And on the women's side, Arina Sabalenka is through after she was too strong for Naomi Osaka. She won that match 7-6, 6-3. And Socceroos coach Tony Popovic says he rushed Christian Volpato into his final squad for the World Cup because he's comfortable under pressure and he's technically a very good player. And that is the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Checking 5AA's forecast.
This long weekend, check out the new beer garden at the Mosaic Hotel, Footy Park Precinct, West Lakes.
Showers becoming windy. 17 today. Showers 15 tomorrow and Thursday. A shower or two Friday and Saturday around 16. Currently it's 15. 5AA, always Adelaide.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
You've been the carer, the advocate, the constant, and you've done it out of pure love. But choosing specialist accommodation for your loved one isn't stepping back. It's one of the bravest things you'll ever do. Para Ability Community Care provides disability accommodation where every person is genuinely known, supported and cared for. We improve lives, and with our pack, you can go back to being the most important thing, the loving family member. Experience our kindness and connection. Visit ourpack.com.au.
Find one on the train.
Find one at the Oval.
Find one at the shopping centre.
Find one in a heartbeat.
Thanks to new legislation, there are now even more automated external defibrillators across SA. In an emergency, call 000 to be directed to your nearest AED. Visit sahealth.sa.gov.au/AEDs. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance. Buy now with no deposit, 60 months interest-free on a participating Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop hot clearance deals with no deposit, 60 months interest-free on a participating credit card from Latitude Financial Services and get a bonus $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend. Monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. New customers must be approved. Minimum finance $1,000. Equal monthly payment plan, T's and C's, charges and product exclusions. Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance on now.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
21 to 7, we'll be checking in with the Weather Bureau very shortly, but we've got a bit of a glimpse about what's happening out there from Doug from Blakeview, who sent through a picture. It looks like it's through the front window of his car, where he, as he describes it, Yorktown Road at Elizabeth Park is underwater as a result of very heavy rain in the last 15 minutes. It genuinely looks like, actually it looks worse than a burst water main, but the road is, it looks like you're driving through a creek bed there, Yorktown Road at Elizabeth Park. Anything else like that out on the roads, folks, do tell us, 8223 0000. We're checking with the SES a little bit later.
Are we actually going to get a real storm today? Like, I wouldn't describe what's happened so far as a storm. I'd describe it as just a somewhat windy winter's day.
We'll ask the Bureau a little bit later. The tidal surge, the high tide, is meant to come in a little bit later today. Last night, the forecast was for this afternoon. But we'll find out with the Weather Bureau very, very shortly about what the state of things is.
Personally, spent much of last night comforting my gutted 11-year-old son who made the SAP SARSA tryouts for soccer, and they've cancelled it today. And I suppose, err on the side of caution, I guess. But I do wonder whether this could be one of those events that ends up actually being canned on account of two things, sort of the modern degree of preoccupation about children being exposed to any form of danger, be it real or perceived, and also the somewhat overblown nature of weather forecasting these days.
Well, we will find out with the Weather Bureau very shortly. Nick has a double number 28 of significance for us. I like this one from Nick. He says the trade that brought Alex Neil-Bullen to the Crows in 2024 was executed by Adelaide giving up pick 28, and Alex Neil-Bullen now wears number 28. The reason number 28 is of significance to us this morning is because Australia now has 28 million inhabitants. Mark McCrindle is a demographer with McCrindle Research who joins us on 5AA Breakfast now. Mark, good morning to you. We've had lots of people have stabs at the significance of 28 beyond some sort of vague references to its historical relevance, but the 28 million people, some people have looked at the speed at which we got there, given how slow population used to grow. Others have talked about the role immigration's played, declining birth rates. What stands out to you as most significant about this milestone today?
Well, it's pretty amazing to have added an extra million in near record time. The only time we beat this in speed was the previous one, going from 26 to 27 million. So record time, and yet we've got a record ageing population. We've got record low birth rates and yet record population increase. You don't normally get an ageing population with low births hitting records in growth. So that's, in historical terms, very, very unusual. Now, of course, that's because migration boom and particularly since the pandemic. And also just where we're congregated. I mean, for a population to grow like this, and yet for us all to be hugging particularly the capital cities in the way we do is pretty remarkable. So, yeah, it means that we're increasing our capital city in record size and time as well.
You can sort of feel it, can't you, Mark, in Australia? Like, I'm not sure where you're based. Are you based in Sydney or Melbourne?
Sydney, yeah.
Like, how recent does the Sydney Olympics feel? Like, I was living there for 12 years, got there just before the Olympics. And Sydney felt cruisy in the year 2000, and it felt like things worked. Like it's gone from this sort of nice, like a big city, but a much more livable city. It just feels so much more crowded now in record time.
Yes, that's the case. It's built up. It's become more densified. The sprawl has continued to some extent. There's been a lot more infrastructure that's gone into that, but as much infrastructure gone into Australia, to Sydney particularly, let's say in the last quarter of a century, the population increase has been greater than that. So, yeah, I guess that sense of the cruisiness now, the sort of intensity is probably what defines not just Sydney but all of our capitals as we struggle to respond to this significant growth.
So, Mark, in the year 2000, the prediction was we'd get somewhere between 24 and 28 million Australians by the year 2050. We've obviously blown well past that. What do the updated... If we kept going at the rate we're currently going, Where do you imagine we'll be by 2050?
We will double again in the next 50 years. That's what we've done. We were in 1976. We were at 14 million. So we've doubled in the span of most Gen Xers and certainly the baby boomers can remember when the population was that size. And that's expected again. Now, again, not too many countries in the developed world are doubling their population every half century. But that's because, relative to places like the US and the UK, we've got a smaller population, a fast-growing one. And so we've got to then think about the next 5 decades, how we're going to double the infrastructure. Now, the challenge, we're not doubling the population centres, we're living in the existing one. I mean, in the last 100 years, we've really only added 2 new population centres, one being Canberra, because it was specifically built as the national capital, the other being the Gold Coast, which really had no population a century ago, and now it's our 6th largest. So other than those unique factors, we haven't been growing new centres, and so we've been packing, doubling, quadrupling the existing centres, and that's not sustainable into the longer term, because our cities do have constraints geographically, or the sprawl will make it not feasible. So how can we plan new cities? How can we grow the smaller population centres, and how can we ensure the infrastructure keeps up?
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. When you think about, I mean, certainly in South Australia, there's a lot of regional centres where people would probably like more people. You know, they talk about losing people and what impact that's had on local business and all that sort of stuff. It's a fascinating field that you work in, Mark. Really interesting chat.
Yeah.
Mark McCrindle, a demographer for McCrindle Research.
Sounds like Mount Barker's doing the country's work at the moment. It's the only,
it does, doesn't it?
The new urban centre that's just growing at the rate everything else. Remarkable. 50 years, so Australia's population's doubled. 50 years is sort of the midpoint between our ages, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, basically.
Yeah.
50 years is not a long time.
No. No, it's not.
The population has officially doubled in 50 years.
Well, Mount Barker's a great example. Like, as a kid, we used to go up there to my uncle's farm, and it was a day in the country. It was... He had a farm called Nakoba, my late Uncle John, who ended up starting Fitzner Furniture. And we used to go up there, and it was like being in a Hans Hyson painting. Now you got your Woolworths on your left, you got 14 houses on what used to be a paddock. Like, it's unrecognisable.
But Mark makes a great point. Over the course of that 50 years, Mount Barker is an exception. How many big new urban centres are there in Australia? We've been packing twice as many people into the same 6 cities.
And just spreading on the fringes too.
Elaine has a number 28 for us, given we now have 28 million Australians. Morning, Elaine.
Good morning.
What's your number 28, Elaine?
Well, on the 28th of July, we'll be married 70 years.
Oh, wow. That's a brilliant one, Elaine.
70 years.
Congratulations. What was your wedding day like?
Cold and rainy.
Oh.
And we were married on the 28th of July, 1956, at the Cathedral in Broken Hill.
In Broken Hill?
Yes, we're ex-Broken Hill people, and we've done our retirement in Adelaide.
So did you come to Adelaide late in life, Elaine?
We've been here 20 years now.
Oh, wow. So you really were Broken Hill locals?
Yes, yes.
What did your husband do in Broken Hill? Did he work in the mines?
Yes, he did. He worked in the mines for 36 years underground.
Oh, wow. Did you read the Barrier Daily Truth?
Every day. He had it delivered, and the miner, Barrier Miner, and they both were delivered every day. Yes.
Elaine, what's your advice to all the other couples with much less experience out there that are listening right now for a long and happy marriage?
Well, I don't really know. It just happened.
You've both done something right then.
That's brilliant.
70.
Yes,
hey, congratulations to you, Elaine. What an awesome milestone. That's remarkable.
Yes, well, we feel proud that we've made it. So,
it's brilliant.
I wonder how... I can't imagine too many 70th wedding anniversaries take place.
No.
I wonder how many there've been in Australia. I wonder if we could even find that out. Call back Mark McCrindle.
Yeah, exactly. Is he still on the line?
What a wonderful milestone, Elaine. We loved hearing that. Thank you. Nice to hear.
I think we've got a winner. That's
a personal number 28.
That beats the 28 Parrot. It beats John Wynn.
2-8. Johnny Wynn.
He shouldn't be eligible. What happened in the 1978 Grand Final?
Yeah, a few people have texted you a reminder about that. Let's go to the Weather Bureau.
Old man and Jack Oatey.
Let's talk about what's happening in Adelaide today, because that report from Doug in Blakeview maybe is a sign of things to come. Michael Efron, good morning to you. Where are we at in terms of this storm, the wind, the high tides and so forth?
Good morning. Yeah, it's been pretty wild weather overnight into this morning around the metro area. We've seen falls of around 5 to 10 millimetres, but in the hills around 15 to 30. And we are seeing further showers through the rest of today. Those winds still quite gusty. However, they should ease a little bit as we head into the afternoon. But for the hills, still a severe weather warning current. We'll review that later this morning. Still also the warning for abnormally high tide. So that is for this afternoon. The high tide may result in seawater flooding of low-lying coastal areas. So be aware of that for this afternoon. In terms of our temperatures, up to 17 degrees today, so still quite wintry. Looking ahead into Wednesday, we're going to see the showers continue. It does turn a little bit colder, top of only 15 degrees expected. Thursday, we'll see a few showers around, and they'll continue into the evening for the big clash between the Crows and the Cats, up to 15 degrees. Friday, a shower or two, 16. And then it does start to settle down a little bit for the weekend. Saturday, shower or two, 17, but Sunday, partly cloudy, up to 18 degrees.
Great stuff, Michael. Thank you. Michael Efron from the Weather Bureau.
2:15's ahead.
Yeah.
That's winter. I know a lot of the kiosks and cafes along the coast have been watching this high tide situation closely, because the spectre of how many years ago was it that we had... remember that beautiful little kiosk at Glenelg South?
Oh, well, it got totally smashed.
It got totally smashed.
That's right.
A few of those businesses still have a bit of PTSD from that. All right, let's head to SAPOL. Senior Constable Scott James joins us. Scott, a man's been arrested for being on property in Paraka.
Yeah, so this one happened just before 1:30 this morning. Police were called to a home on South Terrace after a resident they reported hearing a doorbell, knocking at the front door, and then their side fence going. So patrols attended, and they were quick to the scene there and searched the rear yard, and they located a man in the carport area. He was arrested. He was a 46-year-old man from Port Adelaide, and arrested and charged with being unlawfully on premises. He was refused police bail, and he'll attend the Adelaide Magistrates Court today.
Scott, also, a bloke's been arrested after crashing his car in North Adelaide.
Yeah, so about 11:55 p.m. Last night, police and emergency crews were called to King William Road. Reports that a Ford sedan had crashed into a nearby brick wall. Thankfully, there were no reports of any injuries to the driver. And I believe he was the sole occupant. He was a 25-year-old man from Two Wells, and we've reported him for driving in a manner dangerous. And the car was impounded for 28 days, and he'll attend a court at a later day.
Well, you're doing like some circle work or something?
Well, look, if you were driving in a manner dangerous, yeah, especially with the road conditions and the weather last night into this morning, we're also just asking members of the public just to drive to the conditions, drive safely and slow down, be alert and pay attention at all times, just being mindful. Obviously, the roads are wet.
Yeah, sounds like he's got to work on his technique a bit if he's chucking handbrake. He's in this weather. What a drongo, allegedly. Thank you for that, Senior Constable Scott James.
All right, let's check traffic.
Morning there. Damp roads around our area with those storms last night. A lot of debris through the hills, so do take it easy on the drive-in. Salisbury, traffic lights on the blink. Commercial Road near Wiltshire Street. Also got lights out of action Woodville South, Port Road near Woodville Road. McGill, urgent sewer works, McGill Road near Penfold Road, and starting to get busy this morning, the Port Expressway, Port Adelaide. Early morning camera, Darley Road, Paradise. Get ahead of winter with Origin's comfy credit offer. Plus, enjoy rewards just for being a customer, like savings on shopping, fuel and more. Search Origin by June 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
in funding for intensive care at home. Nurse Next Door is registered to provide this support, helping you access funding so compassionate care can be delivered at home. Find out more at nursenextdoor.com.au. Eligibility criteria apply.
Get ahead of winter with comfy credits from Origin. Move with Origin and you could get up to $200 in bill credits. That's $100 for natural gas and $100 for electricity, keeping you comfy and in control this winter. That's all kinds of useful. Search Origin today. New and moving residential customers only. Sign up by 30th of June and stay until 30th of June. Bill credit includes GST. T's and C's and eligibility apply.
Here's another top tyre tip from Tyre Power. We all want to get more kilometres from each tank. Did you know that your tyres can affect your car's fuel efficiency? Always make sure your tyre pressure is right and that your wheels are properly balanced and aligned. If in doubt, give the experts a shout at Tyre Power. It's just another way Tyre Power is helping you save. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
Lake Eyre is flooding, and this could be the best opportunity in over 160 years to experience it. Holiday Wonders brings you 2 magnificent tours to Lake Eyre, the Flinders Ranges, Birdsville, plus Arkaroola, and the Ridgetop Tour. Enjoy lunch at the iconic Birdsville Hotel. Most meals included, all touring, and so much more. 7 or 8 day small group packages departing Adelaide from May to August. It's great value. Book early. Spots are filling fast. Visit holidaywonders.com.au.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
5 to 7. I think Peter might be a Port fan on the text line. He's fired back with our significance of the number 28 question this morning. 28 years since the Crows' last flag. Thank you, Peter. Feels like only yesterday.
Yeah. We've still got the grainy VHS tape of that.
Let's not talk about that. We should talk about an issue, though, that has been spurred by the dramatic rise in the population that has dominated the conversation over the course of the first hour, and it's led to pretty abrupt policy shifts at the federal level and some changes too states-wise. We're talking, of course, about the housing crisis in Australia at the moment. The state government, for their part, have announced changes that would allow downsizers to move so more easily. In the last week, they've detailed a policy for people who are fleeing things like domestic violence to be able to get into accommodation without being laden with the tax burden of a decision like that. Is the sum of all this freeing up housing? Let's speak to the expert at Adelaide University, Peter Kalizos, who we love talking to about these sorts of issues. Peter, thanks for your time and good morning to you.
Good morning to you, gentlemen.
So, Peter, how do you reckon we're tracking? Clearly, the Premier tried to make it a huge feature of the election campaign, housing, and he very I think he was reasonably quick off the mark in recognising the One Nation surge being fuelled by anxiety over housing availability and housing affordability. But how do you reckon he's going in real terms?
Well, I think, other than I'm very parochial South Australian, I think South Australia is probably doing the best out of all the states, because with that assistance for downsizers, that was the last piece of the missing puzzle, because what was happening is at the bottom end, they were pushing a lot of people into the housing market, but not a lot of people were freeing up their larger houses. But with this incentive for downsizers to move out and not pay any stamp duty on their new property, that has certainly helped free up existing supply. I think the main issue is, and I don't want to get too technical, but the supply of new housing is almost fixed. Like, it doesn't matter how many new houses you want, this is how many we can produce, because we've only got so many tradespeople and this is the way we build it. So if we're going to have more housing to help relieve pressures on what we've got at the moment, we really have to have a quantum leap in how we make housing, how we produce more housing, and that's not going to happen overnight. But certainly some of these initiatives, or all of these initiatives, are great, but we obviously need more.
Do you think the sum of the federal government's budget changes will lead to an increase in supply? And I guess I'm thinking primarily about capital gains tax changes to move investors out of the market, but at the same time allowing the negative gearing of new builds. Is the total of all that more supply, do you think?
That certainly encourages more supply, but it's the same issue. It doesn't matter how many more houses you want unless we change the way we build, the materials we use in building, even the planning approval process. We might increase it by an extra 5%. Maybe if everyone works really hard, maybe an extra 10%. But there's not much that we can do if we continue to build the way that we are building homes today.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Sydney just did that pattern book, didn't they, where they tried to come up with a whole bunch of different designs. Why don't we do something like that?
Well, we're looking to introduce that. And I think a couple of weeks ago they introduced that they're going to be addressing what they call the missing middle. So instead of just doing apartments and instead of just doing detached houses, they're looking at the old-fashioned manor houses. Some of your listeners may remember that. Like, it looks like one house from the outside, but there's a number of different dwellings on the inside. And the other one was the old 60s and 70s walk-up flats.
Yeah,
they did the job back in the 60s and 70s, so, why can't we do that again? Not everyone can afford to live in a detached house on a 600 square metre block, and certainly not first-home buyers. Well, why don't you start in a little two-bedroom flat?
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff, Peter. Always love having you on, Peter Kalizos. And we love that you're parochial, because we are too, mate. Good on you. Peter Kalizos, property expert and property lecturer at Adelaide Uni.
Coming up after 7 o'clock this morning, we're going to be chatting with a South Australian who got swallowed by quicksand at Glenelg. That's coming up.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and becoming windy. 17 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Had a collision? Get in touch with Premier Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
A major milestone reached this morning. Australia's population now sits at 28 million people. Taking births, deaths, migration and departures into account, the country is gaining one new person every 75 seconds. Migration, the main driver for the population growth. 50 years ago, our population was half at 14 million people. Demographer Mark McCrindle says the fast growth raises some important questions.
It's not sustainable into the longer term. Our cities do have constraints geographically, or the sprawl will make it not feasible. So how can we plan new cities? How can we grow the smaller population centres, and how can we ensure the infrastructure keeps up?
The windy conditions and rain impacting Adelaide will continue for some time. Duty forecaster at the Weather Bureau, Michael Efron, says today will be more of what we've had over the last 24 hours.
It's been pretty wild weather overnight into this morning. Around the metro area, we've seen falls of around 5 to 10 millimetres, but in the hills around 15 to 30. And we are seeing further showers through the rest of today. Those winds still quite gusty, however, they should ease a little bit as we head into the afternoon.
A man's been reported after crashing at North Adelaide just before midnight. Police and emergency crews called to King William Road with reports of a Ford sedan hitting a brick wall. A 25-year-old man from Two Wells reported for driving in a manner dangerous. The car impounded for 28 days. He'll be summoned to face court at a later date. A government minister defending the government's housing policies, arguing they've been forced to play catch-up. Reserve Bank officials reportedly judging Labor's first-term housing agenda as relatively modest. Internal notes suggesting the policies did little to improve supply and possibly raise prices. Aged Care Minister Sam Ray telling Today they're working to help young people get into the market, but no, there's more work to do.
The Reserve Bank's job is to test every policy. We've seen hundreds of thousands of Australians get into homes, and government programs have been part of the process of getting them there.
The US president insists indirect talks with Iran are continuing at a rapid pace, despite officials in the country claiming the talks have been suspended. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps says it's opening other fronts in the war. Donald Trump has also claimed all shooting will stop, between Israel and Hezbollah. A teenage boy accused of planning a violent attack at a Queensland school has been charged by counter-terrorism police. More from reporter Lachlan Gray.
Police say the 13-year-old was quite well advanced in the planning of an attack before he was intercepted by officers. The teenager was arrested at a Maryborough service station last Thursday after allegedly threatening an employee with a knife while dressed in disguise. Further investigations led to detectives executing a search warrant at his home on Saturday, where they seized an electronic device. He's since been charged with one count of planning to cause death or grievous bodily harm and possessing violent extremist material. He's been remanded in custody, due to appear in court on Friday. Counter-terrorism investigators will return to the region today.
Research shows early signs of artificial intelligence are softening parts of the job market. Analysis of payroll shows hiring has been weaker in almost all occupations at threat of being replaced by AI since 2022. Experts say the overall job market is yet to be fully disrupted by the technology. The Prime Minister is understood to be weighing up a trip to meet with the US President at the World Cup. Anthony Albanese not expected to make a final call on the journey until closer to the Socceroos match against the USA later in the month. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And Tom Wren, a welcome inclusion for the Crows.
It's got to be good, isn't it? Everyone loves Taylor Walker, and he's set to play in Thursday night's match against Geelong at home. That'll be a blockbuster. The veteran getting through training last night, which is good news. But unfortunately, Isaac Cumming is set to miss after appearing to aggravate a hamstring issue. He'll have further scans today to assess the damage. Meantime, some good news for a couple of young Crows with Mitchell Marsh and Archie Ludowick signing contract extensions, which means they'll remain at the club until at least the end of 2028. And Carlton defender Harry Dean has received the Rising Star nomination for round 12 after his impressive 15-possession game against the Cats, which included 4 tackles and 7 intercept possessions, the most of anyone on the ground. Well, the quarterfinals of the French Open are fast approaching. After day 9, Craig Gabriel is there.
The first women's night match at Roland Garros in 3 years, and Aryna Sabalenka has beaten Naomi Osaka 7-5, 6-3 to reach the quarters. Having the women's night match was pretty well received, but we'll see if it once again becomes a common occurrence. They really had no choice but to put this match on centre, as it was streets ahead of anything else on the schedule. Sabalenka will next play Diana Schneider. Earlier, Matteo Berrettini, the 2022 Wimbledon finalist, reached the quarters.
Meantime, Serena Williams is making a comeback, accepting a wild card to play doubles at the Queen's Club tournament. And in some cricket news to finish, the ICC has approved a trial for pink balls to replace red balls in test matches to keep play going during bad light. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Rennie. Checking the roads around Adelaide this morning.
Occasional showers rolling through this morning. Take it easy on the drive. Dotted debris through the hills with those storms last night. Take it easy through there as well. Traffic lights on the blink at Salisbury today. Commercial Road near Wiltshire Street. Urgent sewer works at McGill Road near Penfold Road. And busy already South Road through Edwardstown. Early morning camera, Smart Roads and Agnes. Congested roads, overflowing schools and hospitals, zero immigration. Australia needs a new deal. Newdeal.au. Authorised by Clive Palmer for the United Australia Party Gold Coast. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
This long weekend, check out the new beer garden at the Mosaic Hotel, Footy Park Precinct, West Lakes.
Showers becoming windy today, 17. Showers, 15 for tomorrow and Thursday, and a shower or two Friday and Saturday, around 16. Currently, it's 15 degrees. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
7 after 7. Good morning to you if you're joining us for the first time on this Tuesday morning. It is dark outside. It is cool. The high tide is on the way. The wind is on the way. And it looks like in certain parts of Adelaide, the rain is very much here. We've had a couple of pictures from listeners of roads that look like they've been inundated with water. It sort of looks more burst water raining than it does storm, but it is as a result of a storm.
It doesn't quite feel like Hurricane Katrina.
No, that's right. It's just a lot of water in some areas that obviously are a little bit backed up.
In defence of the Weather Bureau, I think part of the thing is that when the forecasts come out and they say the range is 7 to 25 mil, if it ends up being 7 or 6 or 5. The problem is that all of the media coverage is always framed around what 25 looks like.
Sure. Do you know what the other thing is? And I'll give us a whack here and give the Bureau a lot of cover. We talk about it exclusively in terms of how it affects the suburbs of Adelaide. They're talking about it because they'll say, well, it did hit gale force and this rain total was reached in Whyalla.
Yeah.
And we go, no storm here.
Yeah.
They got it wrong again.
Yeah.
So, but we'll wait and see because the bulk of it is still to come through today. Coming up very shortly, we are going to be talking with Sam Mack, who is the Channel 7 Sunrise weather presenter, who's going down the slide. No need for a weather forecast for the temperature at the G next Monday. It's going to be cold, but nowhere will it be colder than going down the slide for the big freeze. What an emotional event that's going to be too. That's going to be quite a remarkable day, I think. The whole country is going to be watching the MCG on Monday. And then a little bit later in the morning, Phil Curry, and looking forward to chatting with the South Australian who was caught in quicksand, not in some exotic location in the Amazon or something or other.
Out in the middle of nowhere in Brazil.
No, it was at Glenelg.
Glenelg.
At Glenelg. That's coming up. Story we want to get into right now is something that has really intrigued me because there has been sporadic coverage of this cancer breakthrough with regard to pancreatic cancer. Now, I think you don't need to be an expert to know that pancreatic cancer is among the worst cancers you can possibly get. The survivability of this is not great. The sort of prognosis you get historically is not great. And so this week, this little story came out saying a daily pill has been created that will double a patient's survival time, double their survival time. It's a significant step forward for something in which there hasn't been a big step forward for ages. Now, the disconnect with how this has been reported and how medical people have been speaking about it has blown my mind. All the doctors, medicos and health journos that I follow are saying this should be front page news. This is unbelievable. This is the kind of great leap forward in fighting cancer that you'd think everyone should be talking about. Well, let's talk to someone about it. Michelle Stewart from PanKind, a pancreatic cancer support group, joins us. Michelle, could you give us a bit of a sense? How significant is this development?
Hi. This is a huge step forward. So on Sunday night at the ASCO conference, which is the American Society of Clinical Oncology, the Olympics of Cancer, there was a readout of a final trial that showed that pancreatic cancer could be doubled, survival could be doubled with this new pill. So it is a huge breakthrough with the highest levels of evidence. As you mentioned, there hasn't been a breakthrough in pancreatic cancer for decades. So this is a really great news story.
I don't want to sound like I'm raining on the parade at all, but it's still, and I suppose, as Will said in the intro, pancreatic cancer, two of the most chilling words in the English language because everyone knows its survivability rates are appallingly low. But it's still only like it's a doubling, which is great, but we're still talking about surviving a median overall survival of 13 months compared to 6 months.
Yep. So the trial results for this trial was for people who have had chemotherapy and chemotherapy has stopped working. So they're very, very sick.
Right, okay, yep.
So as a result, like any advances in survival is huge in that group of people. The thing that this does is it really opens the door to future treatment. And if we can get people taking these treatments, well, we need to trial it, taking these treatments when they're well, we think that survival might be even more impressive.
Right, okay.
And then what happens next is we've got next generation drugs that come through that are all ways to treat in combination. So it's really kind of the start. It's a big step forward, and it's really hard to celebrate in medical research, these steps forward, because there's always something more. But I think if we see it for what it is, which is an incredible result, see certainly. It as the next chapter.
Yeah. Well, as you say, if you can get ahead of it when it's not people who are beyond stage 4 and all hope is lost chemo-wise, then that's where the real hope is going to come. It's a great story, Michelle, and we thank you for sharing it. Michelle Stewart, CEO of PanKind.
There's some remarkable stuff happening in medicine at the moment, new developments and so forth for treating everything from cancer to obesity, and that are remarkable stories. The biggest impediment to the ongoing development of this new stuff, what we have in the pipeline is a quantum leap ahead of what we have now when it comes to so many treatments. But the impediment, the blocking point, is human trials. And you sort of, I get why there's a lot of red tape around who you can't just go and experiment on people. There needs to be rules around it. But that's the part of the cycle now that is causing everything to be slower than it otherwise could be.
What is it? The regulation, or is it there's not enough people doing it?
It's not enough people doing it because of the regulation.
Yeah, right.
That's the point. There's all this wonderful theoretical medicine. So we've tested it in animals. We've tested it under lab conditions.
I took pills at uni for money.
Yeah. Well, it's not that uncommon. I mean,
me and two mates,
human trials happen all the time.
When we were at Flinders, we took arrhythmia pills for a week. We had to go into Flinders Medical Centre on a Sunday. They did all our bloods and checked us out. We all had to get tested for AIDS and all this other stuff. This would have been about 1989. I did it to pay for a holiday. I got paid $1,000. So we went in, they juiced us up with these drugs, and then we had to stay in overnight. And then we weren't allowed to drink any alcohol for a week, which was pretty onerous at that time of life, being, Calais ratbag uni students. Then we had to go in every day. It was at the basketball stadium there where they used to have exams.
Yeah.
We had to go to the basketball stadium and take more pills, get tested. And, apart from the fact that I occasionally pass out, it's hasn't affected me at all.
Do you still see the Almighty occasionally?
I do.
Yeah, okay. But you seem like you're in rude health.
The arrhythmia has never been better.
15 minutes after 7. We're going to check traffic and be back in just a moment.
Morning there. Wet roads from those overnight showers and storms. A lot of debris through the hills this morning, so do take it nice and easy. Traffic lights on the blink to Woodville South, Port Road near Woodville Road. McGill Urgent Civil Works, McGill Road near Penfold Road. Speeds reduced through there. Busy South Road, Edwardstown with a camera this morning. River Road, Port Nalunga. Get 40% off all Pirelli tyres at My Car Tyre and Auto this end of financial year. Hurry, it's for one day only. Wednesday, 3rd of June at My Car Tyre and Auto. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
Cost the government support and sent the personal ratings of both the Prime Minister and the Treasurer tumbling. Graham Goodings. The old political loyalties are weakening. Voters are restless. Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Tiles and grout, they're an open invitation for mould. You can scrub and seal it, but it'll be back. Installing Mr. Wet Wall is a smarter option, and you can lay it over existing tiles. Mr. Wet Wall beats the look and maintenance of tiles hands down. No grout, no mould, and completely waterproof. Mr. Wet Wall takes half the time to install. It means your costs are kept down. So why wouldn't you, Mr. Wet Wall? Take a look at MrWetWall.com.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, the end of financial year Unlocked event has drive-away deals racing out the door. There's a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery right now. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next-day servicing. But it won't last. So if you've been waiting, this is your moment. Get an end of financial year drive-away deal before it's gone. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Fatty plaque. Sounds nasty, doesn't it? And it is. Fatty plaque is made of cholesterol particles that can accumulate in your arteries and even stop blood flow, contributing to heart attacks, heart failure, stroke and dementia, Australia's biggest killers. Treatments are being developed at SAMRI and they're all game changers. But SAMRI needs donations to help with clinical testing. Visit samri.org.au and help us give plaque the flick. That's samri.org.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
18 after 7. Very shortly, we're checking with Jono Edwards, who's out on the road for 7 this morning, covering the storm. But first, let's talk about an event that is now just 10 days away. Our big Best of SA Gala dinner is almost upon us at Adelaide Oval. It's going to be a wonderful evening. And over the course of the build-up, we've given you a chance to win tickets, prizes, and you get to hear about some terrific South Australian businesses profiled by our very own Kate Collins, like the Royal Flying Doctor Service.
Today, we are celebrating the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and I'm here today with Dr. Marty at their SA Airport base. Now, Dr. Marty, I have to confess, I am a beneficiary of the Royal Flying Doctor Service. As a child, I was airlifted out from an accident in the country, so I know how important the work is that you do. But can you tell us, who are you helping across regional South Australia?
We're here to support remote Australians no matter where they live, work or travel. So whether you live in a remote community, whether you're holidaying in a remote community or visiting family or friends, we're here for that. And without our supporters, we simply couldn't do what we do and keep our crews in the air.
And it is such a vital service for those who live remotely. When something goes wrong, just to have that reassurance that somebody is there to help.
One of our slogans that has been around since our inception is a mantle of safety, and we take that so seriously. It's about ensuring that wherever you are, you feel safety, whether that's having primary care and vaccinations available for your children or emergency care if something does go wrong.
And you are a service that needs support from the public to continue.
Absolutely. We rely so much on our donors, both for the encouragement that they give our teams. The stories like you've told really propel us and keep us going. But the money that our supporters and philanthropic partners donate is absolutely vital to ensure that what can be an expensive service isn't stripped away. And we are so proud of our almost 100-year legacy, and we really need that to continue.
Well, Dr. Marty, thank you for everything that you do here at the Royal Flying Doctor Service and the service that you provide to South Australians.
It is truly a pleasure. Thank you.
And a big congratulations to Natasha in Golden Grove. Natasha, you are the winner of the Best of SA tickets. You got 2 of those, so we'll see you there on the big night. Support the Royal Flying Doctor Service to deliver life-saving care across rural and remote South Australia every day. What a remarkable and uniquely Australian story. The Royal Flying Doctor Service is a great bit of Australian history.
We've been doing the show too long, mate. I was just thinking the exact same thing. Like, you explained to people in most other countries that the equivalent of an ambulance in Australia can, for a lot of people, be a Cessna that turns up. Like, the country is so big that you need to have these, private, independently operated planes flying around the country. It's incredible, isn't it?
It is. It is. The history of it's great. There's the museum in the Northern Territory. I think it's in Darwin, isn't it? You go. I've been to it before, where you can see the history. At their aviation museum, they've got the Royal Flying Doctor Service museum there as well. And it takes you to you can go on board the version of the first plane they had and so forth.
I think it's probably.
I'm pretty sure it's in Darwin.
Parrot Market's eating Luxor.
That's entirely possible. Let's head out on the road. Might be good weather for a Luxor at the moment in Adelaide. Jono Edwards is in the northern suburbs, where it was Doug from Blakeview earlier, wasn't it, that sent us through that picture of one of the streets there that looked entirely flooded, Yorktown Road. Not sure if that's near where you are, Jono, but what's the weather like out there?
Yeah, it's certainly wet and miserable. Yorktown Road suffering a significant amount of flooding. Also, the Port Wakefield Highway, absolutely covered in water. So we've seen a number of warnings from police to take it easy. Overnight, really not a huge amount of damage in the metro area. The Adelaide Hills copping the brunt of it. A lot of people waking up at the moment, finding trees down, etc. So emergency crews kept busy. There was one significant blackout around the Salisbury area with a number of people without power. That's been restored. Currently around about 117 people without power, a few in the western suburbs and a few in the country. So not huge concerns on the power front, but we are expecting a number of fronts to come through in the next hour or so, particularly in the northern suburbs. Gawler, Two Wells, those deep northern suburbs. At the moment, a number of jetties also closed due to the tidal surge that we're expected to see. So a lot of councils making that precaution. But at the moment, me and my cameraman, Batman, feel like we're in the set of Twister. searching for some storm damage. And, the front's continuing to come through, and we might see some severe winds of about 45 kilometres an hour moving through, and a thunderstorm late this morning. But it's going to be wet, windy and woolly throughout the day.
Does that make you the boy wonder Robin then, Jono?
Well, I prefer not to. There's a former Robin. I'm not Robin, Will. I'm my own man. But it's Batman. Batman.
Yeah, right. Hey, Jono,
Batman's right next to me.
Do you reckon we can get you on the end of like one of the jetties with a dryzer bone tonight, sort of shouting in an agitated way into the camera? That'd be good.
Anything for you, Pembo. We'll go. Actually, we'll head that way now. Actually, I'll go and walk through some flood water, or I'll get Batman to throw some water over my face. Yeah.
Excellent. You, Jono.
Me has this report.
Whatever it is that he comes up with, you'll see it tonight on 7. Jonathan Edwards, for 7 News and 5AA. He will do it, Jono. Don't worry about that.
He certainly will.
24 after 7. Couple of texts, perhaps. 04808 1395.
Talking about number 28, what number 28 means to you, inspired by our population at 6 a.m. rather, hitting 28 million. The very second Matt Pantelis went to air to do the 6 a.m. news bulletin, the clock had just ticked over. Since then, we will have increased because Matt also told us that every 75 seconds Australia gets a new person, be it via births or immigration. Paul says his favourite dish at Ying Chow on Goodger Street, number 28, red vinegar ribs. How good's that? Robin at Mono Para West says we've had 32 mils since midnight. It's still coming down, but the wind is not very strong. And a lot of people talking about population are all bringing it back to housing, the lack of housing. And in response to our chat just before 7 o'clock with Paul Kalitsios from Adelaide Uni, a lot of people are saying, why are we talking about designing smaller houses when the problem is we've got to keep creating houses because there's simply too many people here. Thank you for all of those texts.
So doing some terrible back-of-the-napkin maths, the ABS tells us that the average occupancy in a house in Australia is 2.4 people. If we're adding a person every 75 seconds, does that mean we need to be building a house every 3 minutes?
Probably. Either that or we just need to be a lot more hospitable.
I'm no construction expert, but that doesn't seem feasible.
How do we build that many homes? Well, we might need some more migrants to come here to work as tradies. It's a vicious circle, isn't it?
It is a vicious circle. All right, it's coming up to 26 minutes after 7. After 7:30 this morning, we've got a trial by jury coming up. I think this is going to be a particularly interesting one and timely, given the light that's available at the moment. And then a little bit later in the morning, Phil Curry will be on the program. He has, we've shifted Phil to after 8:30 today. So if you want to hear Phil with the latest in Canberra, you're going to have to tune in after 8:30. Phil's going to be coming up a little bit later. We've just got some reports coming through as I speak of a crash on the Southern Expressway down track. We don't have any more detail than that yet. So if it's somewhere that you are travelling at the moment, we would love to hear from you. 8223 0000 is the number on the down track of the Southern Expressway. All right, let's. We've been talking about the cold weather all day. Let's talk about something even cooler, the big freeze. Sam Mack, 7's Sunrise weather presenter, will this year on Monday at the G be going down the big slide into the icy water. Sam, good morning to you.
Good morning, David and Will. Thank you guys for having me on. Hearing you guys say it aloud is making me feel, it's feeling very real now.
So, Sam, you'll be on debut. Never done it before?
No, first time. They say you never forget your first slide. So, honestly, it's such an honour. I mean, obviously, like all of us, we've been following and supporting Fight MND and the incredible work of Neil Danaher, and I think more than ever, you know, it was quite a surreal feeling for all of us when we were preparing, and then to get that tragic news that Neil had passed, it sort of stopped us all in our tracks. And it was a little bit of a couple of days of, okay, what does this mean? Does this change things? What does it mean? And then the Fight MND people are incredible. I mean, you think about Neil's daughter Beck and his wife Jan, and they are the driving force, and this wonderful team around them at Fight MND who've raised over $100 million over those years. And essentially they came at a place which was Neil's I guess, purpose, which was to play on. And I just think that's a great way to look at it. And that's what he did with his battle with MND over 13 years, play on. So they want to make it bigger and better than ever. We want to raise more funds than ever. We're seeing those beanies pop up everywhere. It's truly an honour to be involved. Really exciting leading into Monday.
I think the eyeballs, everyone in Australia is going to be watching it, Sam. It's going to be a very emotional and spectacular event, one that will raise even more awareness. I mean, everything Neil does seems to have raised more awareness and money for this cause to fight the beast, as he always called it. In terms of your personal plans for the slide, have you worked out what your outfit's going to be yet?
I wish I was creating mystery and giving you little clues. I actually don't know.
Okay.
I should have had it worked out by now, but I don't know. I've got a 1 and a 3-year-old, and they kept me so busy at home over the last week or so. My plan is I'm on the Gold Coast at the moment, travelling with Sunrise, and I'm on the road for the next few days. I get back to Melbourne on Friday, so I'll be straight to the costume shops. I'll be brainstorming, and we're going to sort it out over the weekend. But, I mean, what have I got? 6 days to sort it out. So have you got any ideas? Do you have any ideas?
Well, we can put out to our listeners, Sam, and they'll come up with something that will be genuinely embarrassing for you. Don't worry about that.
Isn't Fitzy doing it too for the first time?
Fitzy's doing it here in Adelaide.
Oh, he's doing the Adelaide one.
He's doing it here in Adelaide. So, Sam, as a man of science and numbers and weather, do you want to know how cool the water is, or did you prefer not to know?
I've intentionally avoided finding that info out till this moment, but if there's anyone I trust with my weather reports, it's FIVEAA.
Yeah, no.
So let's do it, guys. What can we expect? What's the forecast for Monday in the Big Freeze pool?
Well, I was wondering if you would know. I don't know what the temperature is going to be in the pool. I reckon it's going to be pretty cool out of the pool. So maybe that will be to some benefit. It won't be much of a discernible difference.
Yeah, you sort of want that.
Between what it will be out and in.
I've just called up the weather forecast for Monday in Melbourne.
Oh, 17.
17, no rain. It's balmy by Melbourne.
Oh, that's balmy.
That'd be all right.
That's not too bad.
Did you say colder out than in? I think that's a description of my private parts after the freeze.
Hey, no, we've just got a verdict for you. Apparently, it's the waters between -2 and -6.
Oh my goodness! Wowzers!
That'll wake you up.
No, I seriously didn't know that. -2 to -6. Oh my God! Well, we better bloody raise some money.
Just think about the cause. Think about the cause,
That
Sam.
you will.
Yeah.
It's great for you to do it, Sam. It's a wonderful cause and terrific to have people like you behind it, mate. So all the best. Good luck with finding the costume and good luck with escaping the freezing conditions on Monday.
Well, it's a team effort, and thank you to you guys and to FIVEAA, always huge supporters of Fight MND, and of course the Danaher family. And we're all really proud to do what we can, and a beautiful send-off for Neil next week with the state funeral on Wednesday as well. But really appreciate you having me on, guys. Thanks for your support, and a reminder, everyone listening, please get your beanies, Bunnings and Coles. Get out there and support Fight MND.
Good on you, Sam. Thanks, mate. Sam Mack there, Sunrise weather presenter and Big Freeze slider.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers becoming windy. 17 today with the 7:30 news. Good morning. I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
The Weather Bureau says there's more rain and winds coming throughout the day today. Adelaide's had just 6 mils of rain in the last 24 hours. There have been heavier falls in the metro area and the regions. Forecaster Michael Efron says warnings remain in place.
For the hills, still a severe weather warning current. We'll review that later this morning. Still also the warning for abnormally high tide. So that is for this afternoon. The high tide may result in seawater flooding of low-lying coastal areas. So be aware of that for this afternoon.
We've just ticked over 28 million people on the national population clock in Australia, taking births, deaths, migration and departures into account. The country gaining 1 new person every 75 seconds, a new baby every 136 seconds and a death every 213 seconds. The Federal Treasurer denying accusations his new tax bill gives him unprecedented new powers. News Corp reporting the legislation allows Jim Chalmers to choose which assets keep capital gains tax discounts. There's also concern the government would be able to redefine new builds after the new laws are passed. But Dr. Chalmers has told Today ministerial discretion regularly features in tax legislation.
It's not unusual in tax legislation for the definitions to be settled in what's called legislative instruments. Those legislative instruments are disallowable by the Parliament. Tax law is full of these kinds of examples.
Business and union groups are both waiting with bated breath ahead of a potential change to the minimum wage today. Federal political reporter Nelson Scott with more.
The Fair Work Commission will soon determine whether 3 million low-paid workers receive a pay rise. The minimum wage is currently just under $25 an hour, equating to around $950 per week. The government says it hopes to see the number increased, but hasn't outlined a specific figure. Industry groups are calling for a rise of 3.5%, arguing business are already struggling to absorb rising costs. Unions are seeking a 6% increase to help workers handle cost of living pressures, mainly driven by the Iran war.
Meantime,
the decision comes as budget papers predict inflation could reach as high as 5% this year.
Sorry, Nelson. Business confidence has crashed in SA to levels last seen in 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic. The Business Chamber of SA releasing its latest quarterly survey showing confidence in both the SA and national economies has plunged, business profitability falling to a 20-year low. The state opposition says the Malinowskis government needs to raise the payroll tax threshold in Thursday's state budget. Police have arrested a man after he was allegedly found unlawfully at a house property on Paraka early this morning. Senior Constable Scott James says they were called to a home on South Terrace. The man had rung the doorbell, knocked at the front door and then on a side fence.
Patrols attended and they were quick to the scene there and searched the rear yard, and they located a man in the carport area. He was arrested. He was a 46-year-old man from Port Adelaide and arrested and charged with being unlawfully on premises. He was refused police bail and he'll attend the Adelaide Magistrates Court today.
An investigation's underway after a 9-year-old boy was hit by a police car on Sydney's North Shore. Dusty Fitzpatrick with more.
Police say they were responding to a fire in a park at St Leonard's when the incident occurred. The 9-year-old boy was treated by police officers at the scene before paramedics arrived. He was taken to the Sydney Children's Hospital at Randwick in a stable condition. The senior constable behind the wheel was breath tested and returned a negative result. Investigations into the incident are ongoing.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Drama at the Crows, Tom Wren.
Yeah, unfortunately, Adelaide defender Isaac Cumming is expected to have scans this morning, Matty, to assess damage to his hamstring after he appeared to aggravate it at last night's training session. That means he's almost certain to miss Thursday night's clash at home against Geelong. Well, Nathan Buckley is keeping the door ajar to coaching a club other than Tasmania. The Collingwood champion returned to an assistant coaching job at Geelong during the pre-season. Buckley telling Fox Footy, while the Devils is the job he wants, he's weighing up his options.
I've made no secret of the fact of what I'm preparing for, or what role I wish to be in, but I don't have that role. So I mean, I'll look at different options, but I know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I'm being very deliberate and targeted in going about that.
The Socceroos have their first World Cup match Saturday week with a host of new players. Christian Volpato headlines the squad after switching his allegiance from Italy to Australia. Coach Tony Popovic admits selections weren't easy.
You know, you have to disappoint some players, and that's never easy, and it wasn't easy for those boys. But, you know, now we've got clarity and clear air in terms of the 26 players.
To tennis, and Italian Matteo Arnaldi has fought back from a double break of serve down in the fourth set to force a deciding fifth set in his fourth-round match against American Francis Tiafoe at the French Open. The fifth set is about to begin. Earlier, there were wins for Felix Auger-Aliassime and Matteo Berrettini, while on the women's side, Aryna Sabalenka was too strong for Naomi Osaka as she also moved into the quarterfinals, while Diana Schneider had a three-set win against American Madison Keys. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking your drive into work and school this morning.
Morning there. Showers rolling through this morning with the storms that are approaching at the moment. A lot of debris through the hills from the storms last night. Take it easy on the drive. Got lights on the blink this morning at Woodville. That's on Port Road near Woodville Road. Also got a few dramas at McGill. Urgent sewer work still getting sorted out there. McGill Road near Penfold Road, and early morning camera Smart Road St Agnes. Time for better coffee at work. Shop Nespresso Professionals end of financial year sale at nespresso.com/pro. Ends 30th June. AEST, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA's forecast now.
This long weekend, check out the new beer garden at the Mosaic Hotel, Footy Park Precinct, West Lakes.
Showers becoming windy, 17 today, showers 15 for tomorrow and for Thursday, a shower or two on Friday and Saturday, around 16. Currently it's 15, 5AA, always Adelaide.
Is your outdoor area living up to its potential? If not, speak to Luba House and transform your outdoor area with an opening and closing roof that's ready for next summer. An SA family-owned business, Luba House do everything. Planning, design, council approvals, local manufacturing and installation, so you'll have peace of mind it's done right. Don't wait any longer. Find out more with a free design, measure and quote. Bring your outdoor area to life with Luba House. lubahouse.com.au.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. walco.com.au.
South Australia is big, it's wild, and it's all closer than you think. This winter, get out and explore our own backyard with special seasonal rates from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide.
You know, the really good thing about Matt at Avis Truck Rental, not only is the service excellent, but he's always thinking of ways to help you save. Now, Matt runs the depot at Avis here on Port Road. He's a dead set legend, and he's always ready to help out. He's helped me plenty of times. This winter, Matt's unlocked these special offers. Now, pay attention. Special winter rates, next day booking, extra kilometres included, and insurance excess has been reduced.
And these rates for winter apply to four-wheel drives, they apply to vans, dual cab 4x4 utes with lockable canopies and roof racks, even their 12-seaters, you'll get these winter rates on. So whether you're heading to the coast, you're heading to the wine regions, the Flinders, there's three pretty fun holiday ideas for you right there. Or a weekend interstate to the footy. Matt's got you covered with a vehicle for the adventure.
So just head in there and tell Matt that you're a 5AA listener and you'll be eligible for these winter specials. Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, call 8241 5200 or jump online at avis.com.au.
Hey, National Pharmacies members get free flu shots. Pass it on.
Whether you're single, a couple or a family, if you're a member, you'll get your free flu shots. Pass it on.
Not a National Pharmacies member? Join today and get your free flu shots. Pass it on.
Spread the word, not the flu.
Become a member at nationalpharmacies.com.au. Pass it on. Conditions apply.
We know what you get up to in bed. Reading, scrolling, binging, and the other stuff. Complete Comfort designs beds you can adjust for every activity. They have active zones you can adjust in seconds to get the right pressure, position and circulation for a more restful sleep. And they look just like your average bed. What you do in bed is up to you, but it's always better to do it with Complete Comfort. Visit completecomfort.com.au or try for yourself at the Wayville showroom.
If there's anyone I trust with my weather reports, it's 5AA.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
19 to 8, trial by jury before 8 o'clock. Phil Curry after 8. We're also going to check in with the SES and SA Power Networks. There's some power outages around the place yesterday, but we'll have a look at how things are playing out this morning and what their expectations are, vulnerable areas, wind-wise and tide-wise over the course of the day. As we look at it right now, there's precious few outages. So there's some 40 homes. It looks like homes in Nova Gardens without power, and there's 15 in Salisbury Heights. So it's small comfort if you're in one of those areas where there is no power. But in terms of what can potentially be the case when we're getting winds like this, it's only having 55 metropolitan outages is a pretty good result to this point, but we'll check in with SA Power Networks a little bit later. Let's talk about a story that we don't cover all too often here in Adelaide on 5AA. People being caught in quicksand.
I find this totally amazing.
It's and it's not some remote location in South Australia. It's down at Glenelg. Not one, but two instances. So much so the local council have put up signs saying, beware of the quicksand. Mads June got caught in quicksand at Glenelg and joins us now. Mads, you got caught for quite some time, but just take us through from the beginning. You're out for a walk and then what happened?
Yeah, good morning. I was just out for a walk with my friend, wanting to take some nice sunset photos, but it went south pretty quickly. I stepped down off of the rocks and my leg fell straight through the sand.
And you were in deep too from the get-go, weren't you, Mads? Well, up to your waist?
Yes. So originally it went just above my knee, but then as I tried to distribute my weight by sitting down, eventually my waist started to sink in too.
It must have been terrifying. And were you worried? Like, so you started moving and you felt like you were wiggling even further into it?
Yeah, pretty much. At first it was pretty funny until I realised how stuck I was and that I couldn't get myself out. That's when the panic started to set in. And turned to Google originally to see what to do, but nothing proved to work. So emergency services was called.
What does Google tell you how to get out of quicksand? What was the technique?
Not to panic. Well, that was already happening. And then to move your foot in circles. But the sand was so tightly compacted that I couldn't move my ankle at all. It felt like my leg was in a vacuum seal bag.
Were you wearing shoes at the time too, Mads?
I was, yes.
So they were all clogging up, filled up with sand. That must have made it even worse.
Oh, it was horrible.
Did you have the sensation that the longer you were there, and you waited for almost an hour until you got freed, were you progressively getting deeper and deeper? Were you actually sinking, or did you stay at was there a point at which it leveled off?
I was sinking, but very slowly. So it was very different compared to what I've seen in the movies when you sink very fast. It was very gradual. So very thankful for that being the case.
Oh, my God. So I'm trying to work out what you do with your phone. So you had both arms up in the air trying to Google extraction techniques from quicksand.
Yeah, well, both myself and my friends were, trying to Google. But I chucked her my car keys because I didn't want them to get wet. And then, I just had to try and, keep the other leg up as well. I didn't want that one to sink too, and it was a mess.
How'd they get you out, Mads? Was it just great? People grabbed an arm each and pulled you out, or did it require some tools?
Yeah, pretty much. We had some of the fireys moving the sand hill to stop the stream from filling up as the tide was coming in around me. While then, my leg was digged out and then I was physically pulled out.
Oh, Mads, what an ordeal.
What a crazy experience.
We're glad that you're okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps the most remarkable thing about this is you're not the only one. Sarah Derbyshire got caught in quicksand at Glenelg too. Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, Sarah, lightning does strike twice. So, Mads went in first, then a week later you went in.
Do you know what? I'm going to call that. I bet it happened to more people, but they're just too embarrassed to come forward. I bet you. Because I honestly said at the end of this, I looked at my dog and said, no one must ever know about this.
I love your quote to that effect, Sarah, in the paper when you said, I just thought, I'm not going to die like this. This is so embarrassing.
I don't know if I can swear, but you can imagine it was the top swear word was like, no, not this way, no. And then it took everything in me to just, and all I can say is thank goodness for Mads. Thank goodness for her that I'm not the only one.
Yeah, well, maybe you're the only two that have gone public, as you say. So how long were you stuck for, Sarah?
It was only a few seconds. It was a few seconds of hell, and I honestly didn't know that it was being recorded. I just recorded the walk because a few days before there was the big sand hills that me and my daughter were happily running over. Again, yes, very dangerous, but YOLO, we live life on the edge. And then, I couldn't believe how flattened they were, not thinking about the dangers, obviously. But yeah, what was the question?
Oh, no, I was just saying, how long were you stuck? Or was it nowhere near as long as Mads?
It was only a few seconds. It was a few seconds of pure hell, horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We're just looking on the live stream now of the video.
Has it made you sort of think twice about going back to the beach, or certainly to that part of the beach?
No, I absolutely love the beach. There's no way I will never not go to the beach. But, I will be careful where I walk on the beach.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It is interesting.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you. We're glad you got out okay as well, and can feel up to laughing about the whole experience. Both incidents happened right near the rocks.
Yeah.
So where when the tide comes in, there's almost no beach, and walking the little sliver of land between the tide that's up and the rocks there seems to be what creates the issue for people. If you're not on the live stream, it's always worth tuning in because you see insight like Sarah's video, which gives you a perfect sense of what transpired. All thanks this week to the wonderful Walk a Mile organisation, our live stream. Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today. walkamile.org.au. How about Deborah in Glenelg North? Our listener, Deborah. This is the quicksand happened to me too.
We should get Deborah on.
Deborah,
give us a buzz, Deborah. We'll put you on. We'll put you on air.
Oh, have we lost? There might be people lost to us.
Yeah, there might be someone there now who could call in.
The Glenelg. Who knew? People are disappearing.
I just. So the sign that I'm not having a crack at the council. So the council's put up a sign that says soft sand. Why doesn't it just say quicksand? Soft sand sounds like, when you're driving the car down at Aldinga and it says don't park there, the sand's a bit soft. Soft sand sounds like,
you're right.
So what?
It's not that dramatic, is it?
Quicksand focuses the mind. I don't know why doesn't it say quicksand? Maybe there was some sort of, it's technically not quicksand.
Yeah, there'd be some scientist. But you're right, for the purpose of public safety, it doesn't hurt to sort of amplify the danger.
Phil on the text line says, quicksand is actually just liquefaction when the sand becomes oversaturated with water. It just turns into this total slurry.
That's probably what Mads determined when she Googled it while she was slowly sinking. Never to be heard from again. Oh, it's liquefaction.
You don't associate it with Australia, though, do you?
Not at all.
Well, things like it's like those sinkholes occasionally. You see some car that has just suddenly vanished into someone's driveway. That happens in Australia. But normally you think, which part of Colombia is this happening in?
It's not Colombia, Glenelg. What if any of our listeners have ever been trapped before in quicksand or anywhere else? Ever been trapped? Horrible feeling. That would just be awful. Especially if you're by yourself. And suddenly you think, there's no way for me to get out of this. It'd be genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's check traffic.
Morning there, roads wet. Those storms, a lot of debris through the hills as well. Take it easy on the drive. A crash in Badindi, Main North Road near Dutton Terrace, Elizabeth Park, water over the road on Main North Road near Wammer Road, and lights on the blink this morning at Woodville Southport Road near Woodville Road. Busy South Road, Edwardstown, slow. Fullerton Road at the Glen Osmond Road intersection with the Camera Green Junction Road, Hope Valley. It's Travel Tuesday at Flight Centre. Save up to 75% on a 7-night 4-star Phuket stay from $562 per person. Today only. Book at flightcentre.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today.
Counterbalance forklifts currently in stock, stacked with legendary reliability and productivity, and ready to deliver outstanding end of financial year value. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends June 30.
Hi, Daniel Talley here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply, we buy homes. We don't charge fees. There's no advertising costs or commissions. None of that. We just make the process of selling your home easy. So if you're looking to downsize and have a home built before the 90s, we'll be able to help you save time, money and the effort it takes to sell. Thinking of downsizing? Visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks. And look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Join IPAA South Australia for the 2026 Economic Outlook Address, featuring the Honourable Tom Koutsantonis MP, Treasurer of South Australia, in one of his first addresses following the state budget. Find out what's shaping the state's economic direction and what it means for the public sector, business and community. Enjoy a hot breakfast and insights into the year ahead. Tuesday, June 9, 7:30am at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Register at sa.ipaa.org.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
8 to 8. Well, we said to Deborah, you've texted us about sinking in the quicksand. Call in, and Deborah's done precisely that. Glenelg North's own. Deborah, what's happening down there at the bay?
It's soggy and damp. No.
Tell us about your quicksand incident.
Yes, well, I was walking along Glenelg North Beach and the tide was just starting to come in, and they had done the sand carting where you have the huge piles of sand. So I couldn't stay on the western side because the water was lapping up. So I thought, well, I'll just walk along behind them. And the sand was quite hard, so I'm just walking along. But the water had been pooling in there, and suddenly I just stepped down and went straight in. I thought, shit. And I was there for 30 seconds or a minute, long enough to think, oh, my God, what am I going to do? And then to get out, I could only keep walking in the quicksand.
Oh,
and I thought,
wow.
So each step I went in, I sunk down to about my knee level, and then I just kept dragging my leg up and, I don't know, it took probably 20 steps or whatever to get out of it, and then your heart's going...
You do good sound effects, Deborah.
Oh, thank you.
They were both good. That one was good too.
That was.
So, did you try to push with your hands at first?
No, I hadn't gone down that low.
Well, you would have just pushed down even further, I guess.
Yes, that's right. And then I was thinking like the other people, like, shit, you've seen movies and they're like, what am I supposed to do in quicksand? But, but it was very disconcerting.
So you're on your own at the time?
Yes. I'd just gone for a morning walk.
No dogs or anything?
No. Just luckily I had my phone in my pocket. So
wow. And did you call out to any strangers?
I couldn't see anyone around because it was early morning walking.
Crikey.
Scary. Glad you're still with us, Deborah, because you're able to give us that evocative description of everything that transpired and your mental state.
Right.
That was magnificent, Deborah. Would have been a real tragedy to lose Deborah in a quicksand incident, because we always like her calls and texts and so forth. So
we don't want our listeners getting sucked into quicksand.
No, we definitely, we've always said that.
Especially if they've got ratings books and stuff.
Exactly right. If you look towards the hills at the moment, it looks foggy. Now, we're getting some texts from the eastern suburbs that suggest that is not fog, that's rain. It is bucketing down in the eastern suburbs at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So if you can give us an eyewitness account... If
Burnside Village will be barely perceptible. What are you going to do if you need to go to Max Mara to buy a frock?
8223 Is it pouring where you are? Give us a call or send us a text. Maybe it's stormy weather time.
In the criminal justice system, all defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea bargain, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials.
I'm not sure whether the weather and the darkness at the moment helps this argument or not, but for the trial by jury, we want to put the length of daylight saving to the jury test this morning. Matt Pantelis has been running an interesting little tidbit in news throughout the morning that a national MP in New South Wales is calling for that state to reduce the length of daylight saving by 2 months. So he wants it to end
February.
Well, or is it the other end? In my head, I picked
end it early. It would be going into winter. He'd want it to... Well, I don't know. It could be a month at each end, couldn't it?
That's right. I'm not sure. But either way, it's got us thinking, do we need to change the length of daylight saving? Should it be kept the same or changed? 8223 someone will win $100 worth of Samtas seafood simply by being on the jury.
I reckon there'd be a big city-country divide on this.
Well, and a big coast. Which part? East or west?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If you're Sejuna,
exactly.
You have a very different view to someone in Renmark, possibly. 8223 should we shift daylight saving? Bonus points to anyone who's got a theory on how or where it should be changed, but it's on the agenda in New South Wales. 15 years ago, SA, New South Wales, Victoria, except Queensland, they do their own weird thing, followed Tassie's lead with 6 months of daylight saving. So currently running from the first Sunday in October until the first Sunday in April.
I tell you what, people in Perth, life is so confusing. The last couple of months I've written a few stories and we've done a few reports on the Brecky Show too about the push to get Catherine Bennell-Pegg into space. A few days ago I interviewed Australia's first Anglican female Archbishop, Kay Goldsworthy, the Archbishop of Perth. She was lovely and she had some really interesting and intelligent points to make about religion and science and how she regards science as a gift from God and how she has heard this great address that Catherine Benner-Pegg made, but the point is working out what time you were going to talk to somebody in Perth when daylight saving was on here. It does your head in.
Yeah, good luck with that.
What time is it?
Just before we get to the jury, Ryan's just texted, says it's absolutely torrential on the freeway down track. He says you can't see more than 50 to 100 feet ahead, just waiting for Noah to overtake me in the arc. Let's get to the jurors. Should we change our shift daylight saving, juror number one?
Look, if we change it, will my curtains stop fading? No, I think leave it as it is. I can understand why Tassie might want to change it, in their position and everything being so far south. But, no, look, leave it as it is. I love daylight saving, look forward to it, and can get so much done after work when we've got it. So, no, leave it as it is.
All right, thank you, juror number one. Juror number two, what say you?
Juror number two.
No, juror number two. Let's go to juror number three.
Yes, I would say change it, but only by a month. End it at the start of March.
Ended at the start of March. Thank you, juror number three. What do you say, juror number two?
I think it should be for the length of summer only.
Just for summer?
3 summer months.
Okay, I think that's an argument for shifting it as well. Have we got juror number four there?
Yes. Good morning. I think change it should be a month short at either end.
Okay, thank you, juror number four. Juror number five, what's your verdict?
Maybe we should line it up with the equinoxes in September and March and permanently change our time to Eastern time.
Simplify things. That's a good jury for another day, I think.
Yeah.
Should we go to Eastern Standard Time?
Didn't Jay Weatherall try to do that?
Did he?
There was a discussion around it. I reckon he did when he was Premier.
That's fascinating.
Then he shelved it.
All right.
It's a clean sweep.
Well, no,
we're
juror number six. Let's find out.
Sorry.
Hello.
Juror number six.
Yep. What it was intended for, December, January and February only.
That's remarkable. It is a completely clean sweep of people wanting to shift daylight saving. All some excellent theories as well about how it might be best applied and to everyone's benefit. But the New South Wales National MP, Jeff Provost, has some support, at least in South Australia, for making some changes to daylight saving.
Your old hot water system can drive as much as 40% of your energy bill. Fortunately, you can upgrade to something that's 70% cheaper to run thanks to Right Price. They're the leaders in heat pumps and installation. Now's the time to upgrade and save money on a more efficient hot water system and take advantage of government incentives and free installation. Reduce your energy costs today with a heat pump from Right Price. Make the switch with Right Price Hot Water.
At Right Price, heating and cooling, you can get the price right at Right Price.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers today, becoming windy with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantos.
Had a collision? Get in touch with FIVEAA Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
The Australian population has ticked over to 28 million people for the first time. It's double the number in the country from 1976. The Bureau of Statistics population clock using births, deaths, migration and departures to estimate the number of people in the nation. Dick Smith has long been campaigning against rapid population growth and says it doesn't make sense to him. Governments don't have a concrete population plan.
If we brought the immigration down to about 70,000 a year, which is still very generous, we would round off the population at about 30 million, and that would be a sensible number. But do you know what? Not one political party has a population plan. Quite amazing.
A 25-year-old Two Wells man will face court. His car has been impounded after he crashed into a brick wall on King William Road at North Adelaide at midnight. The man uninjured. He's been charged with driving in a manner dangerous. Senior Constable Scott James says the man's crash in the wet conditions should serve as a reminder to all road users in wet and stormy conditions today.
If you were driving in a manner dangerous, especially with the road conditions and the weather last night into this morning, we're also just asking members of the public just to drive to the conditions, drive safely and slow down, be alert and pay attention at all times, just being mindful, obviously the roads are wet.
The opposition says the federal government must address inflation to ease the burden on the nation's lowest paid workers. The Fair Work Commission preparing to make a determination on whether the minimum wage should be increased. Unions, businesses and the ALP are all calling for the $948 per week rate to be lifted. But Nationals MP Kevin Hogan says rising living costs would likely wipe out any wage growth.
We know that lower income workers, all workers are doing it tough. And the worst thing for every worker about this is inflation. Labor have let inflation get out of control. Let's also deal with bracket creep so workers stop getting ripped off every year as well.
The preliminary national auction clearance rate has dropped to its lowest level since April 2020. Just 54.5% of all homes which went under the hammer over the weekend were sold. The weakness most pronounced in Sydney and Brisbane. Adelaide with the strongest clearance rate of 55%. A Queensland teenager is behind bars after detectives allegedly foiled a planned attack on a school. The 13-year-old boy arrested last week after allegedly threatening a worker at a service station with a knife. Police raiding his home, seizing an electronic device, finding his plans. He's been charged with violent extremism offences and is due in court on Friday. Detective Superintendent Jason Hindmarsh says authorities are not currently labelling the incident as an act of terror.
At this stage, we're not alleging a terrorist attack. It's this new state legislation where it's now a criminal offence to do acts in preparation of causing death and grievous bodily harm. If we do identify a terrorism aspect to it, we will investigate that also.
The Health Minister says Australia has no plans to impose travel or quarantine requirements on countries affected by Ebola. There are new suspected cases in Italy and Brazil. The current outbreak centred on the Congo is believed to have taken almost 250 lives. Watch out for quicksand while walking on Glenelg Beach. The local council has put up signs warning of the danger with a number of people caught in it. Mads was caught up to a waist and couldn't get out. She and a friend Googled how to escape quicksand.
It was pretty funny until I realised how stuck I was and I couldn't get myself out. That's when the panic started to set in, and turned to Google originally to see what to do, but nothing proved to work. So emergency services was called.
What does Google tell you?
Not to panic. Well, that was already happening.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Sorry, Frank, I'm sure there's no panic at the Crows. Tom Wren.
Well, let's hope not, Matty, but it's not good because there's been a blow for them with defender Isaac Cummings set to miss Thursday night's clash against Geelong with a hamstring issue. He tried to get through training last night but suffered some awareness, meaning he's almost certain to miss the clash against the Cats. The Crows, though, are expected to get back Taylor Walker, the veteran forward, looking good after burning 5 goals a fortnight ago in the Sandfall. Meantime, former Bomber Ben Hobbs has delivered a powerful endorsement of James Hird's coaching abilities. Hird has been working closely with the 22-year-old at Port Melbourne this year. Hobbs telling the Herald Sun the Essendon great would be a great head coach at Tullamarine next season. Let's go to tennis. Serena Williams has confirmed she's returning to the tennis tour nearly 4 years after retiring. Craig Gabriel reports.
Last November, Serena applied to return to the anti-doping program, which is necessary to play the tour, and ever since has stringently denied that she was planning a comeback. Last week, the discussions resurfaced, and now there is official confirmation. She will start by playing doubles at Queen's Club in London next week. She's always said she regrets not breaking Margaret Court's record of 24 majors. When she stopped, she was on 23. Her last match was at the 2022 US Open when she lost to Ajla Tomljanovic.
The International Cricket Council will form a committee as it looks for a way to address the overlapping calendars of franchise and international cricket. And the Socceroos have settled into base camp in the US. They'll take on Switzerland in their final friendly this weekend. That's before their first World Cup clash against Turkey next week. And former England midfielder James Milner has announced his retirement. The 40-year-old began his career at just 16 with Leeds before he played across 6 clubs for a record 658 Premier League appearances. That's the most ever by any player. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Checking the roads around Adelaide this morning.
Some pretty heavy showers rolling through at the moment. Take it easy on the drive in. Got a breakdown to look out for too at Waterloo Corner of the North-South Motorway near the interchange there. Got a smash to look out from Bedindi, Main North Road at Dutton Terrace, and look out for water over the road at Elizabeth Park this morning, Main North Road near Womma Road. Camera, Maryvale Road, Athelston. It's Travel Tuesday at Flight Centre. Save up to 75% on a 7-night 4-star Phuket stay from $562 per person today only. Book at flightcentre.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. on 5AA.
This long weekend, check out the new beer garden at the Mosaic Hotel, Footy Park Precinct, West Lakes.
Becoming windy today with showers, 17, showers 15 for tomorrow and Thursday, a shower or two on Friday and 16. Currently, it's 14, 5AA, always Adelaide.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, the end of financial year Unlocked event has drive-away deals racing out the door. There's a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery right now. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next-day servicing. But it won't last. So if you've been waiting, this is your moment. Get an end of financial year drive-away deal before it's gone. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
For over 12,000 South Australians, the most important meal of the day is from Meals on Wheels. Behind the meals and behind the wheels are our wonderful volunteers, like our drivers who deliver the delicious meals to our customers.
Amanda, hello.
If you love driving, we could do with you.
Smells delicious.
Become a volunteer today and help us keep the wheels turning.
See you tomorrow, Chris.
Visit mealsonwheelsa.org.au for details.
Get ahead of winter with comfy credits from Origin. Move with Origin and you could get up to $200 in bill credits. That's $100 for natural gas and $100 for electricity, keeping you comfy and in control this winter. That's all kinds of useful. Search Origin today. New and moving residential customers only. Sign up by 30th of June and stay until 30th of June. Bill credit includes GST. T's and C's and eligibility apply.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Knockdown, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
9 after 8, break at 8 coming up in a moment. It's well and truly raining out there. Michael just sent us a text. Hutt Street and South Terrace intersection flooded. This is the section where council recently upgraded the intersection. Unfortunately, they can't get it right again. That's just having a look at that picture from Michael. Yeah, it looks particularly slippery there. One of a number of places around Adelaide where there's experiencing a bit of localised flooding. Certainly the northern suburbs early. Seems like the eastern suburbs is copping it at the moment. But let us know where you are. Is it blowing a gale? Is it pouring down? 048081395. We'll try and get a sense of precisely where it's happening. If you're coming down off the freeway as well, it is really low visibility at the moment. The listeners are warning us about that, so just drive carefully. It's pretty dangerous conditions on the freeway this morning.
One of our listeners texted in asking for us to provide favourite quotes from Blazing Saddles off the back of the quicksand chat. That's a dangerous thing to do on live radio, Will. But as requested, I'll give you this one. What's a dazzling urbanite like you doing in a rustic setting like this?
You might have just picked the one that is broadcastable.
That film is so good.
2026.
I watched it again a couple of weeks ago. It just came on and I thought, I got to watch it.
What was 75% of it is full of jokes you couldn't make anymore?
Yeah, but the thing is, the black sheriff is the smartest guy in the film.
Yeah, I know, but...
And Gene Wilder as his sidekick.
The cancelling of comedy doesn't know nuance.
You know what I mean? Where he disguises himself as a member of the Ku Klux Klan. It's just superb. But, yes, if you were pitching it these days, you'd get kicked out of the studio.
Even though it's the sort of humour...
told to keep your perverse thoughts to yourself.
It's the sort of humour that relies on the fact that people understand that these are unacceptable stereotypes. Like, if... Ricky Gervais does that great explanation about telling off-colour jokes about religion or race, where he sort of says that I think he was defending doing impersonations. And he said, if people didn't understand that was insensitive and wrong, they wouldn't laugh. They'd just sit there and go, well, that was quite an accurate impersonation.
Yeah.
Like the humour relies on the community understanding what is and isn't allowed.
Well, the most absurd character in Fawlty Towers by the length of the straight is Basil Fawlty, and so much of it stems from the fact that he's an unreconstructed English bigot.
Yes.
His treatment of Manuel, his response when he's being treated by a black doctor, all his class prejudices, his sort of petty bourgeois.
And it's funny because everyone knows it is...
Trying to be sophisticated and elegant.
He's the joke.
Yeah, he's the joke in every episode, which is why he never wins.
Yeah.
But you could easily say, oh, that needs to be cancelled. Don't mention the war.
But it treats people like they're idiots. Like grown adults have the comprehension capacity of a 3-year-old.
Correct. But that's the age we now inhabit. Anyway, we should do some breaking at 8.
Yeah, let's do some breaking at 8.
Talking about comedy was probably a good rejoinder to the somewhat bleak content of today's Breaking at 8, because it makes pretty depressing reading. So overnight, the South Australian Business Chamber has released its quarterly William Buck survey of business expectations, and it shows that confidence in both the South Australian and national economies now stands at its lowest level since the pandemic, and at the same time, business profitability in South Australia has fallen to a 20-year low. To walk us through these grim findings, we're joined by the CEO of the SA Business Chamber, Andrew Kay. Andrew, good morning, mate. Thanks for coming on. This is a pretty depressing read, but it gels with all the little micro stories we've seen about a closure here, a layoff there. It is a pretty tight set of circumstances right now, isn't it?
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Look, it does, and it tends to align with some of the surveys that have been poking up interstate in the last couple of months, which the big financial institutions do, and they've been pointing to this. But at a time when, just to put this into context, this survey was undertaken before the federal budget. So at a time when businesses are doing it tough, they just had another hit last week. But this reflects what we've been saying for the last couple of years. Businesses have been hit by increases in their costs through wages, through energy, through rent, and it's been hurting their profitability. Now, you overlay that with a couple of interest rate hikes, which soften consumer demand, and then the fuel crisis, which has just put the price of pretty much everything up, and it's a 1-2 punch.
Do you think we're sort of at risk of turning into a private-public divide in terms of job security, in terms of stability of income, in terms of growth? I mean, I was reading a piece yesterday that the public sector's grown like 26% or something in the last 4 years. Like, it's just crazy growth, whereas everyone in the private sector seems to be taking the opposite approach, which is how can we not so much grow, rather just remain, like, keep, to use a quicksand analogy, keep our heads above the parapet.
Yeah, look, we've talked a little bit about this two-speed economy in South Australia that started to develop over the last couple of years when we've had significant government projects. And if your business is part of that government supply chain, you're being paid, life's good, there's plenty of work around. But if you're not, it's quite a different world, and that's what we hear. That's what we hear from businesses. And if you think about that's trying to stay afloat, just while the fuel crisis has been going on, we spoke to businesses around have they been passing on those additional costs that have been hitting their businesses. Only 40% of businesses are passing them on, and even those are passing on something like up to 20 to 30% of their costs. So they're trying to absorb the costs because they don't believe that others in their supply chain can wear those costs either, or that consumers can bear them, given the fact that we're seeing this cost of living crisis underpinning what is also a cost of doing business crisis.
We've got a state budget on Thursday, Andrew, that you might be aware of. The Treasurer is probably listening. Any last-minute wishes, low-hanging fruit that would help out South Australian businesses?
Gee, well, after last week, we'd say that no nasty surprises would be good, because business obviously looks for certainty, and these are pretty uncertain times. But if profitability is at a 20-year low, the budget has to focus on reducing the cost of doing business. And I talk about payroll tax quite a bit, and the fact is we haven't seen the payroll tax threshold move since 2019 in South Australia. Right, so this morning at 10 o'clock there's going to be another annual wage review announcement that'll push wages up, and we're not begrudging workers that relief. But in the last 3 years, we've seen wages go up 3.7%, 3.9%, 3.4% last year. But the threshold for payroll tax doesn't move. So what we're seeing is businesses who haven't employed one extra person now being pushed into, through bracket creep, pushed into paying payroll tax for the first time. So that's an immediate lever the government has that can reduce costs on business straight away.
Pity Peter Malinauskas can't tap into his former incarnation as the head of the SDA prior to entering Parliament, where he famously said in a speech, payroll tax is the dumbest tax ever invented. It's a tax on jobs and it shouldn't exist.
Yeah, might have reminded him about that once or twice, Dave.
Yeah, no, and well worth doing. No doubt we'll chat on Friday after the budget, Andrew. Thanks for coming on this morning. Andrew Kay, the CEO of the SA Business Chamber.
We continue to get local reports through from rain that's falling in parts of Adelaide, localised flooding at intersections and at various other places as well. And then you get the odd text like this from someone at Somerton Park who says, "Oh, it looks cloudy towards the hills. Down here it is absolutely magnificent."
Barbara in Ardrossan says there's sunny skies over there. Just 4 mils so far. Cancelled Sapsaza.
Seems like at the coast it's the coast it's not too it's not too bad. But in the eastern suburbs, it is really wet at the moment. Let's check in with the SES State Duty Officer, Ian Benithan. Ian, are you getting many call-outs?
Yeah, we've had a few this morning, so it's ramped up since people have started to wake up. We've had just over 50 overnight, so it's pretty reasonable amount for our volunteers.
That's 50 call-outs. Ian, what sort of jobs have they been doing?
The majority of these have been wind-related, so either trees or branches that have come down, loose roofing materials, verandas that have started to lift, fencing, those type of things. We have started to see a little bit of an increase in water coming in through ceilings, and that can be attributed to some wind damage to the roofs.
Well, and which areas are you getting most of the call-outs from, Ian?
The metropolitan area is the most, so we've had just over 40 in the metropolitan area in that same period, and then also the Hills Fluorio, we've had just under 10. Yeah,
we'll stay in touch right across all the programs today, Ian, because if at the higher end of the predictions comes to pass, it could be a busy day for your excellent volunteers. Thank you for that, Ian Benithan, the State Duty Officer for the SES.
Yeah, so the western suburbs in the calm right now, but of course the Bureau, when we spoke to them earlier, said that super high tide is expected to come in the middle of the afternoon. So a combination of that and wind is the sort of thing that people that are living along the beach and have businesses along the beach that will be concerned about. One thing we're always concerned about when there's a bit of wind about the place are power outages, and I can tell you it's a pretty clear picture for the City of Adelaide this morning. There are just 2 pockets of outages in the metro area, 40 in Nova Gardens and 15 in Salisbury Heights. Otherwise, across the state, there's 149 premises without power, which is, frankly, a pretty remarkable effort. Cecilia Schutz from SA Power Networks joins us. Cecilia, so far, so good.
So far, so good. Our crews have done an amazing job overnight. So I've just heard that since 6 p.m. last night, we had a cumulative total of around 6,000 customers lose supply. Now, of course, a lot of those customers wouldn't have noticed because they would have been in bed sleeping. But we're now down to, as you said, around 150. So, look, our resourcing remains ramped up throughout today. We are expecting the impact of wind throughout the day, particularly in the metro and parts of the mid-north. But I expect that, if forecasts remain as they are, that our crews will be able to work through those outages pretty efficiently as they did yesterday as well.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it stays very much at the lower end, Cecilia. Cecilia Schutz, SA Power Networks Manager, External Affairs. Nothing like it was in Perth. It was 30,000 houses were out there.
Yeah. So, let's just hope it stays that way. Stuart says 42 millimetres at Craigmore Central this morning, overflowing gutters, and the dog's holding her wee because she doesn't want to get her feet wet. So not everyone's having a good time this morning. Thank you, Stuart.
Our dog Paddy hates this sort of stuff. He got up first thing yesterday morning having a total anxiety attack because of the thunder. He's a very emotional dog, hates the Royal Show. We had to put him on Prozac last year. Seriously.
Well, they do, yeah.
On a dog,
not a great
dog antidepressant. It was like he had PTSD. He was a nervous wreck.
Yeah, well, they do hate fireworks, and living next to the Royal Showgrounds is probably rare kind of torture for a dog with anxiety issues.
But they're not all like that. His brother wouldn't care. His brother...
Yeah, amazing.
An IED could go off next to Zorro and he'd just give him a schmack, it would be fine.
Now, the Brighton and Glenelg jetties are closed as of, not quite yet, but in the next 40 minutes they're going to close from 9 a.m. today the Brighton Glenelg jetties will be closed due to that really high tide and the winds that are expected. So something to factor into your walks over the course of the day if you're out there trying to brave the elements. Let's check traffic.
Heavy showers rolling through this morning. Take it easy on the drive. Flooding at the moment at Netley. That's on Marion Road near Richmond Road. Elizabeth Park, water over the road there too. Main North Road near Wammer Road. Really big delays at Waterloo Corner with a breakdown. The North-South motorway to the interchange and slow going South Road at Tonsley as you get off the Southern Expressway. Camera this morning, Lonsdale Road at Hallett Cove. Breakfast is sorted at Cosmati Gomez. Grab a Brekkie burrito and any size coffee for just $12. The $12 Brekkie burrito bundle available till 10:30 a.m. at select GYG stores. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
Team, that's what we want to be.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
There's nothing wrong with empowering your playing group, but your group's got to be ready for it too, though, Timmy.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Ever dreamed of trekking Kokoda? This is more than a bucket list adventure. It's a chance to test your mental and physical strength on a trek that lives in Australian legend while helping fund life-changing suicide prevention research. Register now to join Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation's Kokoda Trek from October 5 to 14, an unforgettable 8-day challenge through the Papua New Guinea jungle. Help create a life free from mental illness. Visit breakthroughfoundation.org.au.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Always feeling hungry no matter how much you've eaten? Constantly battling food cravings? Do you often feel like your metabolism is working against you? Introducing Caruso's Reduce Probiotic. Caruso's Reduce Probiotic reduces appetite and suppresses hunger. It also helps in the management of food cravings and supports your body's metabolism. If hunger, food cravings and your metabolism are holding you back, try Caruso's Reduce Probiotic today from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Renovating your bathroom, kitchen or laundry is exciting. It's the bit after that's annoying. Cleaning and scrubbing mould out of grout. Well, if you choose Mr. Wet Wall now instead of tiles, you'll have a lot less to do later. With Mr. Wet Wall, there's no grout, just a stunning, smooth surface that's stylish and 100% waterproof. It's quicker to install, so it costs less, and there's zero mess. So why wouldn't you? Mr. Wet Wall. MrWetWall.com.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
25 minutes after 8. It's World Cup time.
5AA's World Cup of SA.
World Cup time. Well worth jumping on the live stream, Facebook and YouTube, all thanks to the excellent people at Walk a Mile sponsoring the live stream this week. Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today, walkamile.org.au, because on the live stream you'll see the World Cup of South Australia bracket, the 4 categories: people, food and drink, things and places. The bracket's beginning to fill up. We're not too far away from getting to some quarter-final action.
This is like reading a chart at the optometrist, so I can't quite make out
There's no point.
The smallest one. But the things that have gone through so far, Travis Head's moustache, and much to Will's chagrin, those indolent pandas have gone through.
Well, let's see what it is. We're back in the things component of the bracket today. This... I don't even know how I'm going to argue for this. I don't know how I'm going to argue. Oh, dear.
You think you've got problems.
Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go first.
So I got this morning for the South Australian things component of the bracket, illegal tobacco. 8223 if you want to vote for illegal tobacco. I think illegal.
You know all about it, Will. From your wasn't there a business in your neck of the woods that was?
There was. It got shut down recently. They're providing sweet treats for the kiddies and illegal tobacco for everyone else. Look, what can we say about illegal tobacco except to say it's one of the great experiments in inefficient taxation. If you tax the people too much and you do not enforce the tax appropriately, you get a black market and illegal tobacco. Illegal tobacco is South Australians acting irrationally, as according to every single economics textbook that has ever been written in human history. In fact, it's a triumph of the free market, illegal tobacco. This is what happens when governments are dumb and people are not. Illegal tobacco, therefore, is an expression of South Australia, the spirit of freedom, and the willingness of South Australians to push back against oppression. Illegal tobacco.
I feel like I've been joined in the studio by Adam Smith. This is superb.
That's as best as I can do for illegal tobacco at short notice.
Brilliant. Oh, look, I think illegal tobacco is going through, mainly because it's up against my white linen suit. I don't know how this made it onto the list. I've been stitched up.
The never fail gear.
Oh, the never fail gear, yes. Well, this is the suit I was wearing when I met my now wife. It wasn't white. It was more of a bone. Because I should reveal there's been two suits. There was a very Richie Beno-esque white linen Hugo Boss jacket that I had many years ago that unfortunately ended up in the poor bin because it got some strawberry daiquiri on it that wouldn't come out. So somewhere in Angola, there's a 6'2" chap getting around looking pretty flash, apart from having a big dollop of cocktail on his lapel. The second one, I can't remember. I might have got it at Peter Shearer because they have a good, in all seriousness. Will,
yeah, okay, let's get serious now.
For a white linen / bone suit. And as I said, you know, it's a garment that requires a degree of chutzpah, but you know, the right setting, cocktail do, maybe a evening session at the cricket or a karaoke night. Go the bone, go the linen.
Hearing you extol the virtues of the white suit, it's like hearing Don Bradman talk about batting. It's just 8223 0000. Get voting now. What makes it through in the things component of the bracket? David's white suit or illegal tobacco? 8223 0000.
I love it. Every time we talk about illegal tobacco, we get about 500 texts from people. They all seem to know where the shops are.
Let us know what makes it through to the next round of the World Cup of Suburbs. We need 3 votes in either direction. This is the morning the World Cup of Suburbs span off into its own weird orbit. The things part of the bracket is strange. We confess it was always going to be strange. Is it illegal tobacco or David's white suit that makes it through to the next round? 8223 0000. Get calling now and cast your vote in the World Cup of South Australia. The white suit or illegal tobacco? What will go on in the next phase of the World Cup of South Australia? Get calling now. 8223 0000. There's lots of texts, but we're taking calls. It's always calls that will ultimately decide it, and we don't want to inform the calls too much by poisoning the well with all the text information. Let's go to Helen. Helen, what are you voting for?
Illegal tobacco.
Do you think Mark Butler's listened to this segment? Tearing his hair out.
Thank you. Barry Naldinga, what are you voting for?
Illegal tobacco, buddy.
What have we done?
Can I vote for it too?
What have we done? So it's 2 votes illegal tobacco, and now the calls are coming in thick and fast. 8223 0000. Will there be a rearguard action for David's white suit?
I think the suit is stuffed.
Illegal tobacco surely can't win the World Cup of South Australia, can it? Shane in Brooklyn Park, good morning. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can't get Shane. I've got a computer issue.
Have we got Shane?
I need IT assistance.
Here comes Paddy.
Paddy, we can't get Shane on. This could be the deciding vote in the World Cup. Shane, good morning.
Yeah. David, it's your white suit, and I want to see you wear it down Rundle Mall, and I want to see photographs of it.
All right. Shane, thank you. Let's go to Dean. Dean, good morning.
Yeah, I
I'm ringing on behalf of my 88-year-old mother. Illegal cigarettes.
Illegal tobacco makes it through to the next round of the World Cup of South Australia. What a boil-over.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers becoming windy. 17 today with the 8:30 news. Good morning. I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
There's a warning a storm surge may create an abnormally high tide around our coast and the Port and Onkaparinka rivers this afternoon. The Bureau's Michael Efron says the wet and windy conditions will continue today and warnings remain in place.
Our temperatures up to 17 degrees today, so still quite wintry. Looking ahead into Wednesday, we're going to see the showers continue. It does turn a little bit colder, top of only 15 degrees expected. Thursday, we'll see a few showers around, and they'll continue into the evening for the big clash between the Crows and the Cats.
Ian Benithan from the State Emergency Services says there's been a few call-outs.
I had a few this morning, so it's ramped up since people have started to wake up. We've had just over 50 overnight, so it's pretty reasonable amount for our volunteers.
And there are 149 properties around the state without power this morning. We've ticked over 28 million people on the national population clock, taking births, deaths, migration and departures into account, the country gaining one new person every 75 seconds. Business confidence has crashed in South Australia to levels last seen in 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic. The Business Chamber of SA has released its latest quarterly survey showing confidence in both the SA and national economies has plunged, while business profitability has fallen to a 20-year low. Chamber CEO Andrew Kay says businesses are doing it tough.
This survey was undertaken before the federal budget. So, at a time when businesses are doing it tough, they just had another hit last week. But this reflects what we've been saying for the last couple of years. Businesses have been hit by increases in their costs through wages, through energy, through rent, and it's been hurting their profitability.
Business investment, meantime, in the country growing at its fastest pace since the peak of the mining boom. The rapid construction of AI data centres is believed to be behind the rise. Union leaders rejecting claims an increase to the minimum wage would further fuel inflation. The Fair Work Commission will bring down its decision today. Unions looking for a 6% increase. ACTU Secretary Sally McManus says the rise would affect less than 1% of the nation's payroll.
So it has no impact in inflation overall, and we know that also because of the evidence every single year when it gets handed down, it doesn't impact on inflation. What it does impact, though, is people's ability to actually survive.
A man will face court after he crashed his Ford sedan into a brick wall on King William Road at North Adelaide at midnight. Senior Constable Scott James says the man was uninjured.
He's a 25-year-old man from Two Wells, and we've reported him for driving in a manner dangerous. And the car was impounded for 28 days, and he'll attend to court at a later day.
Australian institutions have plummeted down the list in the latest global university rankings. The Centre for World Uni Rankings claims years of inadequate funding contributing to the fall. The rankings are a major factor for international students when choosing where to study. There are signs on Glenelg Beach warning of the danger of quicksand after a number of people sank in it in recent days. One woman stuck up to her waist a week ago, had to be rescued by MFS crews. Sarah was one of the people caught and says it was a few seconds of hell.
I bet it happened to more people, but they're just too embarrassed to come forward. Because I honestly said at the end of this, I looked at my dog and said, no one must ever know about this. I don't know if I can swear, but you can imagine it was the top swear word was like, no, not this way, no.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Swings and roundabouts for the Crows, Tom Wren.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks good for veteran Taylor Walker-Matty. He strengthened his claims for a return to the senior side after getting through last night's main training session at Adelaide Oval. Walker has missed the past 3 games, but played in the SANFL a couple of weekends ago, and he looked good there, booting 5 goals. However, the news isn't so good for Isaac Cumming, who's set to miss with a fresh hamstring injury he suffered at last night's session. Socceroos coach Tony Popovic has explained why he's rushed Christian Volpato into his World Cup squad. The Sydney-born 22-year-old chose to represent Italy, but has since switched allegiances after they failed to qualify for the tournament. Popovic says Volpato has plenty to offer.
Technically a very good player, great left foot, is comfortable under pressure, which you have to be in the Serie A. So I'm really looking forward to working with him.
Meantime, Australia's first World Cup opponent, Turkey, has had a 4-0 win in its friendly match this morning against North Macedonia. In other friendlies played overnight, Norway was too good for Sweden, winning 3-1, while Austria beat Tunisia 1-0. Let's go to netball. Australian Diamonds representative Georgie Horges says she's excited by the prospect of playing in next month's Commonwealth Games squad. The 24-year-old is in the 18-player squad, which is set to be trimmed to 12 before the games begin. And she told Timmy G and Campo it's a huge honour to be in the initial squad.
Been an exciting couple of weeks. So hopefully the next step, me and Tilly make the team. But no, it's been very exciting.
Horges is also part of the Adelaide Thunderbirds team, which currently sits on top of the Suncorp Super Netball table with 2 games left to play before finals. And in some tennis, an epic fourth-round clash at the French Open is still going between American Francis Tiafoe and Italian Matteo Arnaldi. Arnaldi is currently serving for the match at 5-4 in the deciding set. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Heavy showers rolling through in a few spots today. Take it easy on the drive with flooding at Netley, Marion Road near Richmond Road. Also Elizabeth Park, Main North Road at Womble Road. Breakdown causing big delays at Waterloo Corner, the north-south motorway near the interchange with the camera today, Darley Road Paradise. It's end of financial year sale time at Carpet Court with big savings on carpet, hard flooring, window furnishings and rugs. Hurry, Carpet Court's sale event is on now. Exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. On 5AA.
This long weekend, check out the new beer garden at the Mosaic Hotel, Footy Park Precinct, West Lakes.
Showers and becoming windy today, 17. Showers, 15 tomorrow. And for Thursday as well, a shower or two Friday and Saturday around 16. Currently it's 15. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Harris Scarf mid-season sale is on now. Refresh your bedroom for less with 40 to 60% off a huge range of full-price quilts and quilt cover sets. But hurry, sale ends soon. See conditions online. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Your business has most likely been targeted by a cyber attack. You just don't know it yet. Often the future attack hides quietly in your system, watching, waiting, learning how your business works. That's how most attacks start. FX IT helps Australian businesses find threats early before they become crippling. Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect.
20 years on, Fluorio Milk Company is stronger than ever, producing over 55 different products, from fresh milk and flavoured milk to cream, sour cream and yoghurt. We brought back the glass bottle to help our planet. And with a growing fleet of 25 delivery trucks, we're keeping South Australian milk flowing across our great state. 17 million litres a year at last count, with 9 local dairy families. Choose Fluorio Milk Company, and let's keep a good thing going.
Get ahead of winter with comfy credits from Origin. Move with Origin and you could get up to $200 in bill credits. That's $100 for natural gas and $100 for electricity, keeping you comfy and in control this winter. That's all kinds of useful. Search Origin today. New and moving residential customers only. Sign up by 30th of June and stay until 30th of June. Bill credit includes GST. T's and C's and eligibility apply.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. To make way for new ranges, National Tiles end of financial year half price clearance is on now. Rush into National Tiles now and pay half price for hundreds of beautiful National wall and floor clearance tiles, all with our exclusive lifetime guarantee. Yes, rush into National Tiles now for our famous half-price annual clearance on beautiful National Wall and Floor clearance tiles. But you'll have to be quick, so rush into National Tiles or go online now and save. Conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future. To build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Helen, what are you voting for?
Illegal tobacco.
Illegal tobacco, buddy. Yeah, I'm ringing on behalf of my 88-year-old mother. Illegal cigarettes.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
A few listeners have texted wondering if the World Cup of Suburbs this morning was in fact an inappropriate lead into the Police Commissioner Grant Stevens. It is not, I'm delighted to tell you, as South Australia overwhelmingly voted for illegal tobacco to progress in the World Cup of South Australia in progressing through the things bracket.
To your points, though, Will, your excellent economic analysis of why this was never going to work, though, it does say something about Australia that given a choice between doing the right thing by Treasury or backing Iranian-controlled organised crime, about 1 million Australians have opted for option B.
Hey, we never know what's going to be in the envelope, but I commit to arguing hard on behalf of whatever it is. I take back nothing. Now, there's a bus that's broken down, blocking the left-hand lane of King William opposite the Festival Theatre. Thank you for that person for texting that in. There's a few issues out there, perhaps weather-related, so things to be mindful of as you progress throughout the city this morning. Let's head to Canberra. Our political correspondent and the political editor of the Australian Financial Review, Phil Curry, joins us. But who wants to talk about politics when the blue baggers, Phil, are up and about all of a sudden?
Never bagged them.
No, you were always on board.
Stuck through them through thick and thin.
Josh Fraser's the truth.
You have stuck with them.
Well, yeah, in a way, yeah, like Chewy to a blanket. I got no idea what's going on. No one has. It's no idea. No, I guess they played. They played like that for half a game, so it's just a matter of getting them to play like that for a full game, and shows you what could happen. So I guess when the coach moved on, some little button got pushed, and there you go.
I can't name the interim coach, Phil.
Josh Fraser.
Josh Fraser.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I reckon it's as simple as, listen, guys, you're nowhere near as bad as everyone says you are. This has been bloody embarrassing. Let's just get out there and have a crack. And that must be, they're playing in this sort of liberated way.
Yeah, and they put some 4 or 5 young blokes in who are really good. So the age balance is much better now. The experience, and everyone's sort of benefiting from it. But it really isn't a big improvement from how they were playing under Voss. As I said, that they would come out and play half a game like that, then go to sleep. So he's managed to get them doing that for a whole game, and there you go. You play 4 quarters and you win. So yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll probably lose to Essendon this week. So, the motto of the Carlton supporter is "Hope kills." We've been here before.
Just always prepare for the worst. Hey, Phil, we had Corey Bernardi on the show yesterday in light of that remarkable poll. It was one of the most interesting polls I can remember seeing in Australian politics in the Fin Review yesterday. One Nation now the most popular political party in Australia. What are the sort of brains trusts on either side saying about how they deal with this? Labor seems to be saying privately that they hope that it's a sort of point in time, and that by getting on a cost of living focus, they can win these people back.
Yeah, it's two sort of things going on, Dave. So we sort of saw as One Nation really started to take off about just under a year ago. It came at the expense of the coalition. They were just pulling votes off the Liberal Party and the Nationals, and sort of reduced them to a third-party status. And now what we're seeing is they're starting to take votes from Labor, and the Labor people say they're two different sets of voters. So the ones who are jumping ship from the Nationals are sort of more ideologically aligned. They're the sort of people that never vote Labor. They're sort of anti-net zero and angry about migration and things like this. But the ones who are now leaving, Labor sort of trying to convince itself that they're just leaving because they're fed up with 4 years of economic hardship and they voted Labor at their last election and things have got worse. But I think the sort of problem with that theory is that the really big shift came on the back of that budget last month, which was meant to help these people, and they didn't think it helps them at all. And I was talking to Pauline Hanson just after the budget, and she was sort of positing that the breach of trust in that budget would outweigh whatever the government was trying to do in the way of helping people. And the people are already fed up with a two-party system, or they don't think the major parties are up to the job, and they just can't see such an egregious breaking of promises. And I think maybe they've just gone off to Pauline, but neither side has a sort of easy answer for it. It's really we've never seen this before. We're all sort of in uncharted waters. We're seeing the sort of two-party system disintegrate in real time. But it's, people go, why don't you go harder on One Nation? Ask them about their policies and this sort of stuff. And the problem is that people going to Hanson don't really care about that. Not yet, anyway. They just want to, as our pollster says, burn the place down and send a message. And because Hanson is so clearly spoken on things. You've got major parties telling you that things you're seeing with your own eyes don't exist. Like, we don't have, our population's not growing too fast, or these things really aren't problems that you think are problems, and they're clearly problems, right? And so she sort of just tells it as it is, and that's really what's driving it at the moment. And they're all a bit powerless.
You wouldn't have heard the jingle, Phil, but we had it on high rotation. One Nation were among many political parties who advertised on 5AA in the lead up to the March 21 state election, and the ad. They've got the guts to see what you're thinking. It was like total earworm, the One Nation ad.
Yeah, and that's it. And so when you've got people who are really cranky at you've had 4 or 5 years of high inflation now, right? And people are just beaten down by it. And I think, there's a lot of grievance here, and Hanson is sort of articulating that grievance. The interesting thing was in the South Australian state election, and it got sort of underreported nationally, but the huge swings that One Nation took in those northern suburbs, Elizabeth and stuff, and they definitely noticed it over here in the Labor headquarters. Yep. And that was in an election where you had a really, really popular Labor premier, right? So Malinowskis still won with 58% of the two-party vote, but that really masked what happened in those seats. So if you're looking at a seat like Spence, which is in the northern suburbs, One Nation will probably get 30-35%, and that now if an election was held now. So Labor's very aware of it. They're worried about it. And, Anthony Albanese is nowhere near as popular as Peter Malinowskis, quite the opposite. Yeah. As our poll showed, he dropped 10 points in his approval rating in just 1 month on the back of that budget. He's really down there now in the unpopularity stakes. So, if the election was held now, it'd just be chaos. But everyone's got 2 years to try and work out a way back. And this explains to a large extent why, Tony Abbott's reappeared as the Liberal Party president. It's to sort of help, take that vote back, the Liberal vote back from One Nation.
Great stuff as always, Phil. Thanks for shuffling the times around too, mate. We had a clash earlier. We had to talk to 3 women who got sucked into some quicksand at Glenelg.
Oh, God, they're all right.
Yeah, no, they got out. Yeah, no.
Just watch out if you're back on.
Just be careful when you're
down
back
to the bay.
This is the stuff we were terrified of kids. Remember those quicksand movies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like Tarzan and stuff. Yeah,
happened a bit in Gilligan's Island too, from memory.
And Glenelg, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Good on you, Phil.
Well, I'm glad they're okay. All right.
Good on you, Phil. Cheers, mate. Phil Curry, political editor of the Australian Financial Review. 4 in a row could be for Carlton. I didn't realise that Essendon this week. Yeah. They're only 2 games out of 8th.
Yeah, they're only a win by an Adelaide if they beat Essendon and we don't beat Geelong, I think. Is that right?
Crikey.
Something like that.
Unbelievable. 10 to 9, let's check traffic.
Heavy rain has caused a few headaches this morning. Got flooding on the road at Netley, Marion Road near Richmond Road. Also water over the road at Elizabeth Park, Main North Road near Wammer Road. Still got big delays with a breakdown getting sorted at Waterloo Corner, the north-south motorway to the interchange, and very slow right now, Fullerton Road inbound at the Glen Osmond Road intersection. Camera, Perry Bar Road, Hallett Cove. Get great deals on the new Hilux at CMI Toyota, South Australia's #1 selling Toyota dealer. Book a test drive today or visit cmitoyota.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing,
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today.
Has kept South Australians cool and warm for over 50 years. That's half a century of comfort. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford. There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Commercial Yard in Gawler, SA's biggest yard dedicated to certified low-kilometre used cars, utes, vans, 4x4s and, of course, the new Jack Ute. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth the trip to Steinborner Commercial Yard and Gawler Jack. View our whole range at steinborner.com.au.
Thank you, South Australia. For the third time in a row, the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery has sold out early again. And that's because every ticket funds life-changing medical research to support better care and better outcomes for South Australians, like you and your family. Miss out this time? Become a member today to guarantee your tickets and never miss out again. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14944.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
7 to 9. Big thanks to the wonderful Walk a Mile people for supporting the live stream. You can see a little graphic they've got in the bottom right-hand corner of the Facebook and YouTube live stream. Well worth going to the website walkamile.org.au and supporting this terrific charity to end homelessness. Walk a Mile in my boots. Register or donate today. I tell you what, if you're a young South Australian, I reckon there would be no better job than that which is being advertised by our next guest. Will Rayner is the CEO of the Royal Agricultural and Horticultural Society. Will, you are on the lookout for showbag testers. Good morning to you.
Morning, Will. We certainly are. It's a very important job. We're looking for a group of people to come and help us test all the showbags so that we can go to the show on the 5th of September full of confidence they'll be great again.
So what does the testing involve, Will? Is it for safety, or is it how does it work?
No, we on the 20th of August here, we'll get all the show bags that we've got in the show. We'll put them in a room, and then we literally open the doors to a group of young kids. We've been doing it for quite a while now, so we're asking for applications from either school classes or sporting teams or community groups, and we also get Camp Quality coming every year. We get about 70 kids come in, and they literally get a chance to test all the show bags. They get to take a couple home, take a family past the show home with them as well, and we just make sure they're all tip-top.
They've got to write into you, don't they? There's a little task they need to perform to be part of, effectively, the application.
Yeah, that's right. So it's actually 100 years since we had our first show bags at the show this year, so we're asking for people in 50 words or less or to upload an image or a short video onto the website, and they have to tell us if they could send a show bag back in time to a kid from 100 years ago, what would they put inside it, and what do you think would blow their mind? So they've got to think about what would it be like 100 years ago, go onto our website, enter the competition, and we look forward to welcoming them here on the 20th of August.
Imagine a kid in 1926 when plastic hadn't really taken off getting a fidget show bag, because like those fidget show bags, they're really good, and they're used to help kids concentrate. But I must admit, I like playing with those spinning wheels and the popping panels. You get all these little dimples, and you push them in, push them out again, and you can count them in your mind. Like, it's very, very soothing.
Yeah, and there's magic ones, and there's lolly ones, obviously, and there's the birdie beetles that everyone loves. So there's something for everyone.
Well, the magic one would travel well over time, because the whoopee cushion has never not been funny.
Oh, I think. No, the whoopee cushion is just excellent.
Yeah, that's right. Every whoopee cushion we got came from a show bag, I think.
Yeah.
I've never even seen one come from anywhere else, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I don't know. Where did
that
you get
and
them?
fake vomit. I think they only exist in show bags.
Fake vomit and fake dog poop as well.
Yeah,
They're good.
yeah.
They're always good for a laugh.
Yeah, that's-
Put one of them on the dining table and bit of vomit on the floor.
Upset grandma.
You got all the ingredients for a classy night in right there. There's the old whoopee cushion. Gotcha.
I think it's more about our age. I think they're more sophisticated things these days. Hey, Will, I think you'll have no trouble filling those applications. Always great to see the kids tear into the show bags too when it comes time comes in August as well, mate. So great to chat with you.
Thanks, guys.
Good on you, Will. Rain at the CEO of the Royal Agricultural and Horticultural Society.
Can we just reflect? Possibly the dumbest question I've ever asked in almost 11 years working with you is, are the children brought in to test them for safety?
Yeah. So what they aim, as long as a kid doesn't die.
Don't swallow that.
Yeah. No, Timmy, can you just see that small plastic thing? Swallow it, because we need to see what will happen.
Hang on, no. No, that does appear to be toxic.
Yeah. Hey, Tina, can you pull the battery out of that? Yeah, you can. Yeah, can you pop it in your mouth? Yeah, we're going to have to cancel that show back.
It's another kid down.
It's Bart Barrett.
Gag Magic's been cancelled.
You had to cancel a few show bags.
The fake blood's actually got acid in it. Bloody Temu.
What a morbid spectacle that would be. The kids testing show bags for survivability. All right. Fuel Watch, it's better to be a member with RAA Road Service. The unleaded at the Mawson Lakes, the BP there is really cheap, $1.59.9. The diesel at the BP at Parafield Gardens is cheap too. That one's at $2.02.9. David's off to go test show bags. Will's just texted in and he said he wants David to swallow small bits of plastic at the showground. So you can go
on those heart pills, why not?
See you tomorrow, folks.